How ready shit bump. Man, my fuck. What? Chill. Shit, back down there. Go get some money. Got a man way out of the trunk. In the trap, I was serving money. Straight down, 20 pickers running. Had a tell her, keep me quiet. Break it down, so by the onions. Having chill, I ain't talking flames. Love my daddy, you can keep staying. I ain't lying. This shit was insane. I was on the block, hotter than the plane. Put them in the box, speaking on my name. Didn't want the ice watch, and I was crazy. With my eyes over midget, no, I can't relate. We're not the same. Back to my parents, got a pocket chain. No way she do it, nice out the frame. Watch out, you niggas with no. No, this ain't dog shit. This is what you What up, though? What up? Save on the pack, son, in the old train. Bring his gas, gotta keep it moving. Like a student, you can kill me. Hey, my nigga Soldier, bro, came out with this shit yesterday. Ain't nothing but a bitch, and I look at me now, y'all give a still. I keep down on the church. We gon' flip it. Go ahead and run the bitch. Ain't talking if I my shit. Go get it back, that's the bitch. Ain't nothing but a bitch, and I look at me now, y'all give a still. I keep down on the church. We gon' flip it. I ain't have nothing but a bitch. I'm living like my favorite rapper. Feeling like Drake. Be coming from where something. I'm rapping looking like that. I'm eating that. I'm putting another like a ain't been to was beat it up in the camp. A black bitch from a white bitch. See the tempo stick. I be thinking they look like a okay. Some bitch that city need to pay. I'm not coming. Real. I'ma need a beat, real. What's good? I'ma need some music. They say that she wanna fuck me. No, we're not that. See, I got this flowers and jump for the week with the gas to read that shit. You can split through the ass. I'll be bringing the food before the run. I'll be eating the trip. I'll stop right fast right on. Go ahead and run. When you finish my shit, get it back. That's a bitch. I ain't had nothing but a bitch. And I look at me now, y'all give a still. I don't get down with the church. We gon' flip it. Go ahead and run the bitch. Ain't talking if I my shit. Get it back, that's the bitch. I ain't had nothing but a bitch. And I look at me now, y'all give a still. I don't get down with the church. We gon' flip it. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. What's up, family? What's up? What the fuck is up? What's up, family? What the fuck is up? What's up, family? Hey, what the fuck is up? Hey, what's up, man? Yo, in this bitch late, like a bitch, but my bad. We in here. 18. Yo, 18. You know, if I'm coming here on the stream, y'all, you know I got something fresh off the press. You already know. I got you. Hold on. Cause I'm gonna put the link early. Early. YouTube rejected your comment. This is fairly common when sharing a link. You may need it. Why they reject it? Come on, man. Talking about YouTube rejecting. Game over, man. What in the world? YouTube, give it a few minutes. Okay. What that mean, 18, when YouTube reject your comment? This is fairly common when sharing a link. You may need to share the link another way. Like, why they coming at me like that, dog? Well, until that time, because I've been hearing a lot of strange stuff that's been going on with StreamYard. But I ain't never seen that one. And I know they watching me because on my other, when I'm going live on YouTube without StreamYard, I be trying to figure out how do I invite guests. So they know my passion is for y'all to come up here. Like I said, bro, always some randomness, bro. But we gonna get it together. We gonna get it. I'm gonna get me a Rumble. Yes, ma'am. Damn. I'm gonna definitely get me a Rumble. Well, look, man. Since I came, for some reason, YouTube is rejecting my comment. So for some reason, that mean I'm about to go harder. So listen, do y'all know how big the mental health crisis is in America? Do y'all know the type of mental crisis America's in? And what do I mean by that, Mr. Lister? What I mean is over 90% of all prescribed pharmaceutical pills that are issued to Americans, 90% of them are mental health related, specifically depressants, mental depressants. Okay. So, very big, very big, real. 18 said, yes, ma'am, it's astronomical. Now, 18 in real, because real, I'm about to put you a part of the clan, bro. I like your consistency, bro. Hold on. Okay. Because I don't know how to do it on this, but real, I want to make you a moderator, bro. So when I go live, because I know how to navigate on YouTube on the other one, like as far as how to give you a rinse and stuff. So real, I got you, bro. But yeah, the reason why I bring up mental health, y'all, is because what I'm about to show you is gonna fuck up your mind, yo. I'm already claiming it. I'm already claiming it. What I'm about to show you, oh, real, I got you, bro. You ain't even got to worry, bro. It's already done. So the next time I go live on the other platform, the other YouTube setup, I got you, real. But check out what I'm about to show y'all is about to F y'all up. Cause it F me up. So I hope y'all ready, man. All right. This right here is dealing with our armed forces, and particularly the Navy, and what the fuck the Navy going through right now. So without further ado, happy Friday. I didn't want to put the title. I didn't want to put what we were talking about in the title, man, because people be biting our style over here, bro. I ain't even gonna cap to you. I feel like people be low-key waiting on what's going on. And so I feel like to keep it exclusive and to keep it, what up, Tay? What up, Brad? You know what I mean? To keep it G, we just gonna keep it on the low. And if they so interested in what we talking about, they gonna have to watch it. But we ain't gonna give it to them by just putting it in the title. We ain't even gonna get it to them. You wanna be down with the gang? You gonna have to just watch. I'm gonna just put some random stuff. You already know, 18. This is the Fair Use Act, Section 107 for entertainment and education purposes only, y'all. Listen, the Navy is fucked up. Mental health is not only just dealing with civilians, okay? Our service members going through it. Check it out.
You ever hear a siren nearby and wish you knew what was happening? I found this seriously useful app called Crime Radar. Isn't it right? Much less 200. A U.S. official told CNN that the USS George Washington carrier group is headed to the region to replace another carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln. That follows concerns about deteriorating living conditions and worsening mental health among its crew. The Lincoln has spent more than 250 days and counting on its current deployment. One Democratic senator says the vessel set a modern day record for sailing without a port call. During that time, there were reports of crew members trying to jump overboard and about horrid living conditions on the vessel. Joining me now, retired U.S. Air Force Colonel and CNN military analyst Cedric Layton. Colonel, a pleasure having you join us about this.
Y'all hear what he just said? Motherfuckers is trying to jump off the boat, trying to jump off the boat. Check it out.
A U.S. official told CNN that the USS George Washington carrier group is headed to the region to replace another carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln. That follows concerns about deteriorating living conditions and worsening mental health among its crew. The Lincoln has spent more than 250 days and counting on its current deployment. One Democratic senator says the vessel set a modern day record for sailing without a port call. During that time, there were reports of crew members trying to jump overboard and about horrid living conditions on the vessel. Joining me now, retired U.S. Air Force Colonel.
All right, let's park there for just a brief moment. Let's park there for just a brief moment. That's crazy what they doing out there. Yeah, bro, you have a ship that's been on, that's been out to sea for 250 days, bro. A whole year. And anybody who been on a cruise and ship, y'all know how them ships set up, man. That shit them rooms is cramped. It ain't a lot of space. So imagine a military tactical ship. You're already trained to deal with limited space. And not only that, now you talking about the plumbing, the toilets and shit backed up, fucked up, the food contaminated. Hey man, shout out to Real, man, cousin, man. Hey man, appreciate your cousin for his service, man. That's fucked up, man. What he going through, bro. So I don't, happy Friday to y'all. Did y'all hear what that man just said? That he said, man, you got reports of sailors trying to jump off the boat, trying to commit suicide. Hey, Sean. Hey, girl. What's going on? I couldn't take you on. I couldn't take that you're on a cruise ship, right, bro? Happy Friday, Sean. But yeah, yo, that's crazy, man. Hey, the reason why I keep running shit back because I be really, really not only to get y'all to digest it, I really be trying to digest it too, yo. Like what he's saying.
A U.S. official told CNN that the USS George Washington carrier group is headed to the region to replace another carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln. That follows concerns about deteriorating living conditions and worsening mental health among its crew. The Lincoln has spent more than 250 days and counting on its current deployment. One Democratic senator says the vessel set a modern day record for sailing without a port call. During that time, there were reports of crew members trying to jump overboard and about horrid living conditions on the vessel. Joining me now, retired U.S. Air Force Colonel and CNN military analyst Cedric Layton. Colonel, a pleasure having you join us to talk about this because I have a suspicion you may have exactly the kind of experience and perspective to help us understand this. So we have these reports, not just of the overboard sailor, but of the conditions on the Lincoln that sailors are dealing with, shortages of items like soap, not the most hearty of meals, mold in the showers, etc., that I think would make even a short stint at sea.
Come on, man. Y'all ain't hearing what he's saying. Y'all ain't picking up what he putting down, man. The man said they reports they ain't got no soap. They running out of soap. They running out of supplies. There's mold in the water. There's mold everywhere. People losing their minds, want to delete themselves on the boat. People allegedly, 7 people allegedly reported to try to jump off the boat. What's going on? You can't even serve your country effectively. What's going on, bruh? Keep it gangster. What Ice Cube said, keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. What's the reason for not docking? Bingo! 18. If I had $1,000, you would win it. Cause that's what's wrong with people. We don't ask the right questions. And that's the right question. Why haven't they docked? Yes, Sean. They ain't got no soap, man. They got mold. The food contaminated, y'all. The Navy food contaminated. Specifically the USS Abraham Lincoln. That shit fucked up. It shouldn't even be out there. Shit falling apart, all type of shit going on. Random stuff, man. I'm telling you, bro. Random like they won't let me put the StreamYard in the chat for y'all. YouTube rejecting it. Random like that. But anyway, what are they doing nowadays on these cruise ships, bro? This happened. Hey, bro, this is on a warship, bro. The USS Abraham. Jesse say, cause they in hostile territory, and hostile territory around where they at. Yeah, yo, yeah. I can definitely see how it's hard to maneuver, bro, and get shit done when you in behind enemy lines, bro. So yeah, that's a good point, Jesse. Yep.
Pleasant, right? Much less
They're going through it.
Cities. And that's not to mention the act.
Hey, yo, and again, man, this is under the Fair Use Act. You know what I'm saying? Section 107 for entertainment purposes only, okay? And education purposes only. So if one of y'all don't mind, shit, whenever y'all get here, whoever think about to do it, just throw it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? The fair use. The fair use, man, if y'all don't mind. But yo, Dante, you can eat terminated food, they'll kill you, right? They don't care though. How are you gonna allow the people serving your country to eat contaminated food, bro? Come on, man.
Actual job that these service members are tasked with focusing on. Give us an idea of the impacts of these conditions and if there is such a thing as a deployment being too long.
Yeah, well, Brian, it's great to be with you. Well, there's so many aspects to this. I had the honor of serving with the Navy for deployment at sea during my career, and I spent just 30 days. So if you can imagine 250 days versus 30 days, I definitely feel for the sailors. But during that time, we also had plumbing issues. We had, water that, flooded out the toilets, and there was also an issue with the showers. So the conditions were not pleasant. They were definitely not what is being reported, for the USS Abraham Lincoln. But it definitely was something that impacted the quality of the deployment and really the ability to carry out your job in very confined quarters and with limited access.
You heard that? Very confined quarters. Not only that, being in that type of situation, you are not able to carry out your daily duties, y'all. What is that? You cannot carry out your daily duties as a sailor and serve effectively in those horrid conditions, y'all. And ain't nobody talking about it.
To communications capabilities and the types of things we kind of take for granted in everyday life, but it was definitely an experience of a lifetime, but it was also an experience where there were certain hardships that you may not take into account if you're not used to deployments at sea.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Colonel, addressing some of these reports while taking.
It's sad. It's sad.
Listen,
It's
if you've been
sad,
in a
bro.
car accident, don't.
Check it out. They're going crazy. Check it out.
Yo, stop!
It's sad, Sean.
Y'all got it all wrong. Rich party right now with multiple service members. All right, AMAC, you're live now from Fox. So turn our attention right now to the Middle East. More developments as the U.S. and Iran remain at an impasse over negotiations over ending the conflict between the two countries and also reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the stalemate, tens of thousands of U.S. service members remain deployed in the Middle East, but there are new concerning reports of deteriorating morale amongst troops. For more on this, let's go out to Rebecca Castor with the latest.
U.S. forces in the Middle East remain on high alert, ready to return to combat operations against Iran should President Trump give the order.
At some point, maybe they'll do something and then they get blown away. But we're in a very good position.
But sailors aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier are reportedly not in a good position. At a town hall with Navy leadership last week, some family members expressed concerns the Lincoln's prolonged deployment is affecting sailors' mental health. And there are reports some have even tried to jump overboard.
Hold on.
Senator Richard.
Y'all heard that shit? Did you hear it? Family members are reporting, saying, yo, they are concerned for their people, meaning the sailors writing home. The sailors writing back, keeping it funky with them. They keeping it real with their families about how shit is fucked up. Now you talking about you got report of sailors, not just one, but sailors with the S, multiple, plural, jumping off, trying to end it, yo. 250 days straight, no dock. The helicopter can drop food. Hey, man, look, like my man Jesse said, man, when you behind enemy lines, I don't know. I don't know. Sean said, they fight for our country. Right. They don't feed them like it. They don't have the supplies up the par like it though, Sean. Damn. Come on, bro. Dante says out of control. Yeah. Let's continue. Let's see some more fucked up shit that's going on with the Navy right now.
Blumenthal sent a letter to Pentagon leaders Wednesday highlighting the deteriorating mental health conditions, along with reports of supply shortages, water contamination, plumbing issues, and safety concerns.
God damn! Hold on. I gotta run it back. Oh, Lord. There was a long list there. Woo.
Mental health conditions, along with reports of supply shortages, water contamination, plumbing issues, and safety concerns.
This war is so reckless and so costly without clear aims or ends.
With negotiations between the U.S. and Iran seemingly at a standstill, it's unlikely troops will be recalled from the Middle East anytime soon. Right now, both sides are claiming control.
Yo, what she just say? It don't look like no troops in the Middle East gonna be called back anytime soon. Dang. Hey yo, millennial, peace, fam. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. AT said, millennial. Trump was out there today in Nassau. I saw him, bro. I saw him out there, man. Yeah, brother. I saw a president out there. Hey, man, but check it, man. You know, if somebody remember, man, please throw in the Fair Use Act Section 107 in the chat, y'all. I got it in the description. But, man, you got to be extra careful because they not even allowing me to bring up no guests right now. So for some reason, I'm gonna try it again though. I hope everybody good. Dang, they still ain't letting me. Yeah, I tried it again, 18. They telling me I'm gonna have to share this joint another way. They saying YouTube They saying YouTube is rejecting. Are they having a supply shortage? Hell yeah. I'm gonna say the list again, Dante. But yeah, y'all, I'm sorry I can't invite no guests. That's the whole reason why I did stream y'all. But like I said, man, they got a thing with me that's going on right now. So I get it. I get it. Cause I know, hell yeah, they gatekeeping real. Hey, real, listen. Listen to me, brother. Listen. The shit that we talking about, it's not popular for a reason. Through social engineering, dog. They're trying to navigate what it is that we talk about. And also they monitor and study. Your little bit of numbers don't make you insignificant with the information that you bring in. That's for everybody. And I know damn well that everything that's happening strategically with this is in direct relationship with what it is that we're speaking about. So long as I got y'all here, they know my heart is to bring y'all on and to converse with y'all. And I feed off y'all energy. So that's why they doing that dumb shit. 18 said, set up that damn rumble tonight. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, man. But shit, it's all good. Let's see.
All over the Strait of Hormuz, and some
Hey, man, I'm gonna put the list again, man. Hey, Dante. They down supplies, bro. Check out the list, man.
USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier are reportedly not in a good position. At a town hall with Navy leadership last week, some family members expressed concerns the Lincoln's prolonged deployment is affecting sailors' mental health. And there are reports some have even tried to jump overboard.
God dang.
Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal sent a letter to Pentagon leaders Wednesday highlighting the deteriorating mental health conditions, along with reports of supply shortages, water contamination, plumbing issues, and safety concerns.
God
This
damn.
war is so reckless and so costly without clear aims or ends.
With negotiations between the U.S. and Iran seemingly at a standstill, it's unlikely troops will be recalled from the Middle East anytime soon.
Damn.
Right now, both sides are claiming control over the Strait of Hormuz, and some military analysts believe it will take a return to combat to break Iran's grip on the critical waterway.
If we hammer these guys the way we know we can, then they're on their knees for sure. And the sooner we do that, we declare victory.
In regards to the USS Lincoln, Arizona Democrat Ruben Gallego is calling for a bipartisan Senate delegation to visit the aircraft carrier and inspect conditions. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Please don't buy Clarity MD astaxanthin soft gels.
Telling you, bro, it makes no sense for you to be on sea 250 days straight when your toilets is fucked up. You can't even flush the toilet, man. The food is contaminated. That's a slap in the face, man. That's a slap in the face, man. What excuse you got, man? All these millions of dollars. All these millions of dollars that are put up in these different areas in government. And you can't even serve your country without the toilets not even working. God damn. God. Where they do that at? The toilets don't even work. The toilets don't even work. See. The toilets. Hey, bro. Shout out to everybody who's serving, man. It's shout outs, bro. I'm not doing this to mock, man. I'm doing this to prove a point, bro. The toilets don't work, bro. The toilets. I salute you with both hands, bro. Dang. Yeah, that's pros and cons, but at the end of the day, man, we're dealing with people, life, Dante, meaning that when your mental health is not in a good place, there's no way that you can effectively serve without it turning negative, man. To fight a war is mental, but your mental health got you feeling like you want to kill yourself. You got people that's trying to jump off the boat to kill themselves, yo. Why is nobody but us talking about this shit? I'm used to it though, y'all. The shit we own, I'm used to it not being popular. You know what I mean? And not being in the algorithm. I'm used 18 say those lawsuits are going to be flooding in. Girl, tell me about it. You don't think so? Hey, bruh, they're getting the information from the sailors who are writing the letters, yo, because it's the people, families who making noise. The sailors trying to kill themselves, but they families are trying to do like, hey man, we need to do a wellness check on my damn husband, my damn wife. All strategy, millennial. You better know it, gang. You better know it, bro. This shit silly, bro. So again, the USS Abraham that's in Hormuz right now in Iran. Okay, the sailors on that bitch is trying to jump off the boats, trying to kill themselves, y'all, because their mental health is fucked up. They snapping. They trying to delete themselves. Okay? They ain't got no soap. The toilets don't work. The food contaminated. It's mold. It's mold everywhere. Yeah. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. This shit's fucked up. Telling you, bro. That's crazy. So yeah, let's check out some more shit that they be going through, bro. Cause this shit fucked up. Come on, man. Come on, America. We could do better than this.
Foreign countries, if you
Everybody all right? Y'all all right? Happy Friday, man. Everybody good? Thank y'all for being here, yo. For real. Thank y'all. Thank everybody for being here. I appreciate this. I just wanted to, you know what I mean, dive into something where I feel like it could be beneficial, productive to raise awareness for the people that's in uniform, that's serving, man, what they going through, yo. It's so messed up. It's really, really bad what they're going through.
to you. You're still required to follow all the requirements of a job. If you work at Home Depot, you got to do the things that Home Depot wants you to do. You know, you work at Home Depot. We expect you to do this. We expect you to do that. We expect you to do this. We expect you to do that. In exchange, you get paid.
All right, now check this out now. Cause they're treating serving as a job. But when conditions of your job is not up to par, it makes it hard for you to be effective at what it is that you do, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to show you an example of what I mean by that. Check this shit out.
I'll keep this quick. We need
Check
a
out what
huge
Donald
amount
Trump.
of donations
Check out what Donald Trump got to say
this US
when the
vaccine.
press asked him about this.
If everyone watching this right now made a contribution you can listen. Hi, everybody. Ben Parker here from the Bulwark. A little heads up that we recorded Command Post before President Trump made his comments about the USS Abraham Lincoln. So we had a whole episode talking about what's going on board that ship and other ships and the terrible state of leadership of the military. And we didn't even have the full information because President Trump waited until after we'd recorded to make his comments. So we won't talk about that, but you can listen right now to what he said.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship. No. Not really long enough. Thank you, everybody.
God
I
damn.
am Ben Parker.
That bitch said not literally long enough. Shit. So they plan on replacing it, right?
Hi, everybody. Ben Parker here from the Bulwark. A little heads up that we recorded Command Post before President Trump made his comments about the USS Abraham Lincoln. So we had a whole episode talking about what's going on board that ship and other ships and the terrible state of leadership of the military. And we didn't even have the full information because President Trump waited until after we'd recorded to make his comments. So we won't talk about that, but you can listen right now to what he said.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship. No. Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
I am Ben Parker from the Bulwark. Welcome back to Command Post. I'm joined as ever by our very own Lieutenant General Mark Hertling, recent winner of the Nonfiction Writers Association Award. Congratulations.
Yeah, I just heard about that this morning, Ben. Thank you so much for commenting on that. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Unfortunately, that is the last piece of good news we have to discuss. I am frankly kind of furious today. I read Morning Shots. Bill Crystal wrote about the situation that's going on with the USS Abraham Lincoln and the sailors on board that ship and what the Navy is not doing about it. So we got to talk about this crisis that's developing today because it is just an abuse of the people in uniform. It is terrible leadership, and it is a catastrophe that we warned about earlier on Command Post months ago, and nothing's been done. So just to catch everyone up, I think it was back in maybe March or April, we talked on Command Post about these reports we were getting from sailors on an extended deployment aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln and other ships involved in the Iran War, that they were getting what looked like really measly food rations, that they
Oh, shit. Oh, yo. Hold up. Did this dude say rations? They getting rations of food. Do y'all understand that type of language? Hello, bro. This nigga said rations. God damn. Real. He said rations, bro. We talking about military now. Rations is what you get to indentured service. Scraps, right, bro? Come on, man. Rations. Let them folks go home. Rations of food. Rations mean that that's less than a portion. A ration is half a portion, nigga. Meaning that you're not getting no type of nutrient. You're just getting enough to stay alive. You got sailors in the Middle East right now on the USS Abraham that's jumping off the damn boat, deleting themselves. This is not alleged. This is real. They starving to death. How can you fight and be effective? And Donald Trump says, shit, they ain't been deployed long enough. Nearly long enough. God dang! And you don't hear the YouTube streets talking about it. Only people out here talking about it is us. Damn. Damn. Shit. I'm telling you, bro, they know how to do the right shit to bring Mr. Lister out, bro. 'Cause I don't come out much, but god dang. Yeah, like I wasn't gonna speak on this. Millennial said, you know they losing weight, no energy, no nothing. Man, this shit crazy. This shit gay, man. Real. That's wild. Hell yeah, that's wild, bro. Damn. Millennial. Look at 18. She mad. Shit, I don't blame her, bro. I don't blame her, man. I don't blame her, bro. I don't blame her. Because, man, once you break it down, bro, it makes no sense why you have military people reportedly jumping off the boat, killing themselves because they getting rations of food, bro. They starving to death. They got rations, Dante. Oh, man, bro. Bro, that word is cringing. Rations. God. Bruh. So they must be eating porridge and shit. Rations, bruh. Fish, orange, wise. Girl, listen, bro. Not rations. They getting, yeah, bro. It's ratio. I can't believe it, bro. I gotta run that shit back. I mean, that word, bro, when I hear it, it's like, dang.
Not hearing me long enough. Thank you, everybody.
I am Ben Parker from the Bulwark. Welcome back to Command Post. I'm joined as ever by our very own Lieutenant General Mark Hertling, recent winner
They stomach.
of the Nonfiction Writers
Hell yeah, they stomach
Award.
touching, bro.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I just heard about that this morning, Ben.
Hey,
Thank you.
bro, they jumping off the boat, man. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? They're starving to death. They writing they peoples, bro. They telling them. They telling them what they going through. They've been on the water for the toilets don't work. Man, they ain't messing with it, man. What are we talking about? Hell yeah. Hold on, 18. Yeah. Feast, bro. Come on, man. Feces and urine, man. Come on, bro. Let's write 18. Keep that shit gangster. Feces and urine. I let that marinate, bro. This is what the U.S. Navy's got to deal with right now. Eating among feces and urine. People killing themselves all around them. And then you still got to deal with the enemy. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Nah, bro. That shit lame. They got headaches, dizzy, everything. Bro, they killing themselves, man. They pass all that shit. Headaches and dizziness is bullshit compared to you jumping off the boat. These are highly trained warriors that are put in the worst type of elements dealing with combat, and they killing themselves. They jumping off the damn boat. Fuck that dizzy and a little stomach ache, nigga. They mental health fucked up. So imagine what's going on in their mind that they feel like they ain't gonna live. Not because of the enemy, not because of Iran, but because of how fucked up these conditions are, where we felt like we left to fend for ourselves. Man, shit. Millennials say, word 18, can you imagine the smell? Hell yeah, nigga. The smell? Nigga. He had in mind. Come on, bro. The toilets don't work, man. Titanic time. Yo, they sending another boat out there. That's what Donald Trump say. They gonna send another one out there that's similar to it. Ha ha. That one fucked up. He said he gonna send. Hey man, y'all ain't catch the wordplay, bro. Donald Trump said, yo, yeah, we got another boat out there similar to that one. He said, he said, bro, what do you think about the boat being out there so long? He said, man, that shit ain't been out there long enough. Hey, man, I'll rewind that shit back, bro. Y'all think it's a game. Y'all think it's a game. Y'all think he ain't said we about to send a boat that just as fucked up. It's similarly fucked up. And they ain't been out there long enough. You talking about what I got to say? 250 days straight ain't shit. I don't give a damn if they ain't got no toilets. It's Donald Trump, bruh. It ain't right off straight. Her muse, bruh. Check it out. I wouldn't be surprised if soon they started eating each other. Hey, bruh, you don't think they thought about it, bruh? That's the type that now that's where I want to go with it, Millennium. Yeah, forget all that dizziness shit. Nigga, motherfuckers is killing themselves. So you know the thought of eating them another motherfucker, he'll be Sergeant Timmy today and tomorrow that bitch be fried up and steak and stir fried and all type of shit. You don't know what type of mental games. This motherfuckers is killing themselves jumping off the boat. Mental health issues is all you hear that's reported. So you don't know what's going on in the nigga mind. Ain't got shit to do with the enemy and that type of warfare. No. The fuck is going on, man? Yo, the toilets don't work. The food is contaminated. There's mold every damn where. Come on, man. And the president say, yeah, we about to send one similar to it. See. What you think about them being deployed so long? Oh, they ain't been deployed long enough. See. I wouldn't be surprised if soon they started eating each other. Okay, yeah. I remember that. Literally. For real, bro. Outbreak. Bingo. I'm telling you, man, this shit crazy, bro. We the first to talk about this shit, man. Ain't no other motherfuckers dropping this shit. That's why I did not put the title in the joint. I'm like, man, if motherfuckers really want to be on that joint, they gonna have to come fuck with us and get it that way. You ain't gonna get it easy, bro. But anyway, man, I appreciate everybody for being here, yo. Yo, the shit is fucked up, man. Dot, what's good, yo? Martino, what's good, fam? What's good? What's good with the game? The toilet need to be pumped out. Hell yeah. Them bitches don't even flush, man. Hey, it's mold everywhere. The food is contaminated. Keyword deployed. Come on, bro. They out there. They out there. They out there, bro. Dante says nasty. Yo, hey, bro, it's wrong how they doing them, bro. They don't care. They don't care, bro. 18. I bet they are fighting each other because, hey, bro, they doing more than fighting each other. 18. They killing it. They killing themselves. They ain't got time to deal with the next nigga because they too busy. They too busy trying to jump off the boat. What up, Doc? Big ups, yo. Martino, what it do, bro? Exactly, 18. That's what Millennial said. Martin. What up, Mr. Lister, back in here? What up, bro? I appreciate that, Martino. Hey, Martino. Hey, man. Listen, bro. The Navy going through it right now, bro. The USS Abraham. Damn toilets don't work. The food is contaminated. There's mold every damn where. They short eyes. They writing to their family about the mental health, and you got motherfuckers is attempting to try to jump off the damn boat because they can't take it no more. Several sailors is trying to delete themselves, bro, by jumping off. Saying, fuck this shit. I'd rather swim. I'd rather catch a whale back. See, Jonah. They are bugged out this plus. Hey, yo, man, shit real. This politician, they don't really care. Hell no. Government was always an enemy to the people. You already know. But what they tell you, bro, don't ask what you could do what this country could do for you. Ask what you could do for your country, nigga. Talking about, I'm gonna let that marinate. That shit, that type of mentality, man, is sickening. The government was always an enemy for the people. Hell yeah. Ask what not this country can do for you, but what you could do for this country. Dun, 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 dun. Be all you can be in the army, nigga. Y'all remember that shit came on when we was little kids? Be all that you can be. Come on, man. G.I. Joe, bro. They came out with the cartoon, bro. G.I. Joe, man. And the draft coming back next year. Hey, Millennium, I'm telling you. Hey, Martino, I appreciate you, bro. I'm telling you, they ain't putting down what we picking up, bro. Ain't nobody on this internet talking about this shit but us. So all of a sudden tomorrow, you see people talking about it. You know where they got it from. Because I purposely did not put what we were dealing with in the title. You got to come see us. You got to come see us. If you want to pick up what we putting down that bad, you got to come see us. But we not just putting it out there. But if you see it tomorrow, you know we dropping it first. Cause this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Millennium. And Abraham is a Israelite name. Thank you, Doc. Prayers that anyone in here who family, right, bro, was on the USS Lincoln, bro. Prayers, bro. Prayers. Prayers. Prayers, 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 prayers. The tallest game in Flush now. That's messed up. Hell yeah. Martino. We woke people, period. Life in simulation. You already know it, fam. You already know. And that's what I was talking about a couple of days ago, man. By a dude named, I call him Carl Wayne because I have his name spelled, but his real name is Carl Jung. So the J is pronounced as you are saying it with a Y. So, but anyway, yeah, man, I want to just play for y'all. What was Donald Trump's response when the reporter asked him, hey, man, the ship is so fucked up and they've been out there so damn long. What do you got to say? He said, that's some bullshit. We sending a ship out there similar to it and they ain't been deployed long enough. So I just want y'all to hear that man say that out of his own mouth. This is President Donald Trump. His response when the people ask him, bro. Check him out.
Hi, everybody. Ben Parker here from the Bulwark. A little heads up that we recorded Command Post before President Trump made his comments about the USS Abraham Lincoln. So we had a whole episode talking about what's going on board that ship and other ships and the terrible state of leadership of the military. And we didn't even have the full information because President Trump waited until after we'd recorded to make his comments. So we won't talk about that, but you can listen right now to what he said.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No. That ship is moving right
All right,
now.
fine. All right, boom. So immediately the lady said, yo, people concerned about the shit. He cut off, said, no, they're not.
Shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship.
Hey, yo, he said that people gonna be off that one and they're gonna be placed on a similar ship. A similar ship, meaning you're gonna have similar conditions, y'all. Y'all got to read between the lines. First of all, he said that people are concerned. And he's saying, no, they not. When you got fucking, the toilets don't work, they're short of supplies, they short of food, and you got mold. And you got the nerve to say that people lying, they not concerned, but yet you gonna send a ship similar to it, right? Hey, bro, he would not let that ship deploy for shit. Y'all ain't going a goddamn place. See. Hey, bro, Pete Kidd, bro, made come careless remarks as well. Yeah, we're gonna check him out. We're gonna check him out too. And this next ship gonna be worse than that's what I'm saying, bruh. That's what I'm saying, man. Hey man, happy Friday, man. I appreciate everybody for being here, man. God bless. What we talking about, unfortunately, is sad, y'all. The USS Abraham Lincoln. Conditions are fucked up. They have been deployed for over 250 days straight with no working toilets. No working toilets, yo. Hey, Janesta. Hey, girl. Hey, man, y'all shout out my girl, Janesta, man. She is in the building. She is from the Cree Crew. Cree Crew. Yeah, man, Janesta, good to see you, darling. And I'm honored that you're in the building, girl. Salute. My boy Doc say salute. But yeah, yo, I'm telling you, fam, listen. It is not cool for you to take that oath to serve your country. What up, Lauren? What's good? What's good, yo? Martino said, you are a blessing, bro. I'm 42, but you like a big bro to me. I appreciate that, fam. Listen, truth. You down the earth, period. I appreciate that, Martino, man. That's respect, bro. I appreciate that, man. That mean a lot, man. And a nigga need to hear it, man, based on the type of energy they coming at me with. Because, you know, I've been trying to put the link in the chat, and they saying YouTube is rejecting that shit. I never seen nothing like that before, but it is what it is. But they must have known I was coming with the heat, y'all, because I ain't even put nothing in the title. I just wanted y'all to pull up on me so we could, you know what I mean, put it down like that. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody for being in here. Y'all, our Navy is fucked up, bro. And I'm not that type to really bash our president like that. I don't really, you know what I mean? I just keep my political perspectives to myself involving him in particularly, but this right here, oh, we calling this shit out, bro, because I know every one of us are connected to somebody who served or has served, you know what I'm saying? And so just thinking about the conditions and what they're going through, and for to have our president not really give a damn, man, like in public, in front of the camera. So that's with intent. You know what I'm saying? That's intentionally he's saying, yo, I ain't buying into what nobody's saying as far as them being concerned about that boat. We're gonna shut everybody the fuck up. We're gonna send a new fucked up boat, but we ain't going no damn where. That's crazy to me, yo. Janessa said, happy Friday. Millennial said, Trump is a grimy New York puppet. These people don't see, hey, bro, they don't see that shit. Janessa said, happy Friday, everyone. Dot say, yo. I say, yo. Millennial. Just catching up with some of y'all comments, yo. I want to say, hey, Janessa. Janessa said, hey, Larry. Millennial said, peace, Nesta. Lauren say, hey, Millennial. Martino say they rejecting the truth. Damn right they rejecting it, bro. That's why they don't want me to bring nobody up here. But it's all right. We still gonna rock. Millennial say, yeah, they suppressing the death numbers too. Hell yeah. You know it. No, man, no stats they give us, bro, should go unchecked. For sure. Hell yeah, that's messed up. Thank you, Lauren. Those people are gaslighting. Yeah, bro. And this is the worst time in political history. It is, Janesta. I'm telling you, we are making history in our country, but not in a good way. like, you know what I mean? The things that we are dealing with has astronomical consequences, bro. Because once the military loses their faith in the system, who gonna fight for us? Come on, man. Like to fight a war, you gotta be inspired. You have to be inspired to fight. You have to have the spirit, the warrior spirit to fight. I have a second cousin, and she in the Navy now. She young too. So yeah, I'm glad you put it. Hey, yeah, bro. Now your cousin gets to see how they government feel about them, man, and they service. They'll have them out there, bro, for damn near a year with no working toilets, man. No soap, no working toilets, food contaminated, shorter supplies. And what war you fighting again? What war you fighting again and the toilets don't work? The toilets don't work. The toilets don't work. The toilets don't work. The toilets don't work. Come on, bruh. How can you salute? How can you salute, man, that man knowing? Come on, bruh. They jumping off the boat, y'all. They killing theyself, y'all. Are y'all hearing me? They killing theyself. Okay? Hold on. I got to play it back. I got to show y'all. It's real. This shit real.
The safety of our communities comes first. That's why Don Davis is leading the charge to pass a bill to stop fentanyl at the border, working across the aisle to secure the border.
All the commercial.
Don Davis, keep fighting to pass the Catch Fentanyl Act.
If you have an iPhone or an Android phone, you need to check this out. This is cool. It's two pieces. The first one has a
They
USB.
won't even let you skip.
All right, Andy Mack here live now from Fox. We'll turn our attention right now to the Middle East. More developments as the U.S. and Iran remain at an impasse over negotiations over ending the conflict between the two countries and also reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the stalemate, tens of thousands of U.S. service members remain deployed in the Middle East, but there are new concerning reports of deteriorating morale amongst troops. For more on this, let's go out to Rebecca Castor.
Are you hearing what it said? There are deteriorating morale. What does that mean? Your morale is deteriorating. What? Can I get an interpreter in the chat? Can I get an interpreter in the chat? Trump's supposed to be commander in chief. No working toilets. Right. The toilets don't work. Lauren said, hey, 18, peace, girl. Hell yeah, it's sad, Lauren. No integrity or none. But think deeper, bro. Willing to do anything. There we go. The morale is deteriorating, brother. They are killing you. Excuse me. They're trying to delete themselves, bro. They're jumping off the damn boat. We tired of this shit, bruh. Come on, Dante. Lauren. 18 said, hey, Lauren. Bruh, this shit ain't right, man. This shit don't make me feel good talking about this shit, but hey, bro, if we don't talk about it, it ain't gonna get talked about, y'all. Y'all know that. If it don't get talked about, if we don't talk about it, it ain't gonna get talked about. Check this shit out, bro. So he's saying the morale is deteriorating. We're gonna stop there. We're gonna let them keep cooking.
U.S. forces in the Middle East remain on high alert, ready to return to combat operations against Iran should President Trump give the order.
At some point, maybe they'll do something and then they get blown away. But right now, we're in a very good position.
But sailors aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier are reportedly not in a good position. At a town hall with Navy leadership last week, some family members expressed concerns the Lincoln's prolonged deployment is affecting sailors' mental health. And there are reports some have even tried to jump overboard. Democratic Senator Richard...
Y'all ain't hear that shit in the back. Y'all ain't gonna share that shit. That's why I keep putting it in your face.
Groups. For more on this, let's go out to Rebecca Castor with the latest.
U.S. forces in the Middle East remain on high alert, ready to return to combat operations against Iran should President Trump give the order.
At some point, maybe they'll do something and then they get blown away. But right now, we're in a very good position.
But sailors aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier are reportedly not in a good position. At a town hall with Navy leadership last week, some family members expressed concerns the Lincoln's prolonged deployment is affecting sailors' mental health. And there are reports some have even tried to jump overboard. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal sent a letter to Pentagon leaders Wednesday highlighting the deteriorating mental health conditions, along with reports of supply shortages, water contamination, plumbing issues, and safety concerns.
This war is so reckless and so costly without clear aims or ends.
With negotiations between the U.S. and Iran seemingly at a standstill, it's unlikely troops will be recalled from the Middle East anytime soon. Right now, both sides are claiming.
Boom. This shit ain't going nowhere no time soon, y'all. Secretary of Press said resigning the end of the month. Sun switched flights on them, had them in danger. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, y'all, I'm back. Just trying to put some more people's on, man. Let them know I was on live, man, so they could check me out. Hold on. Okay. So the Dante said it's really not soldiers like poorly. They not good. Yeah. What up, bro? What's going on overseas? All presidents follow the orders of the elite. You already know we know that, bro. Ain't no president, ain't no one man doing all this damn shit. We know he got an answer too. Hey, Cookie, what's up? What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, girl? President is just the hell yeah to the people. You already know, fam. You already know. Hey man, shout outs again to everybody that served in our armed forces. And man, I'm just so sorry that we gotta talk about and report the disrespect, bro. The protocols of the learned elders of Zion in full effect. To the T. To the T. Hell yeah, he falling, Dante. He done failed, bro. They about to bury his ass, allegedly. According to the Simpsons, they about to bury his ass. Cause between the death threats and all this shit he got going on, bro, he ain't no telling, bro. He coming to an end. Watch what's about to happen. Yeah. And they're gonna try to make it seem like it's gonna be peace all over the world. Now that he gone, shit. I smell a civil war junk pumping off. He coming to an end. Okay. Lenny said, Cookie. Dante, they did oh, he got the Simpsons jump. See what I'm saying? The Simpsons got it right. Did they like sleeping things under the rug? Yeah. Cookie with the kisses. Cookie man, big ups to your girl. Overseas say, Orange man following the orders given. You already know it, bro. But he the front man, so he gonna take all the hits as far as public opinion. But we already know, bro. He answered to somebody else like everybody else. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah, man. They gonna crash the band. Yeah, bro. Come on, bro. They gonna do it. Real. How is the Simpsons predicting all this? Is crazy. Hey, man, because they ain't predicting it, bro. That's like saying when somebody predicts something, you ask, how you know that? And you get the okay, the you know what I'm saying? That shit get voted on to put on TV. It ain't like they come up with this shit and then they got the rights they got to go through Paramount or whoever else, the creative, the gatekeepers. And once the gatekeepers vote on it, say, okay, we could put that. Hell yeah, it's scripted. There we go. That's what I want to talk about. The script. The script. And if somebody want to go rogue and go off the script, well, we know what happens to them. We know what happened to them people. The world on a puppet string. You better know it, brother. They just have to show the show is right at this point. But here's the thing, bro. What the USS Abraham Lincoln signifies is not just on a surface level. Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm about to peel back the layers to this motherfucker. Y'all already know. You know I'm about to pull the top off. They just have to show us accidental drowning, fatal car accident. Man, listen, bro. I'm about to go. Stay on that copper. Stay on that copper, Dante. Stay on the, cause what I'm about to deal with. Now that we got established on the surface level, I'm about to pull back the first layer. Okay, because we're talking about double and triple entendres. So let's talk about the double entendre. What type of president did Abraham Lincoln represent? The boat that the president named after. How did people view Abraham Lincoln? What was Abraham Lincoln responsible for? They knew who Abraham Lincoln was. Thank you, Melinda. Now we cooking. Me and Duke's ground on copperized, so refreshing. Yes, sir. Only facing the other way. Now we talking, brother. I'm gonna see if I could pull that shit up right quick. Cause now we done graduated from matter. Now we done graduated from the surface. Now we done graduated from what we tangibly see with our natural eyes, our carnal mind. Now that we can logically make sense of what's happening, now we can start to pull the layers back and deal with the entendres. Because everything that happens, there's happening in multiple dimensions. All right? All simultaneous. Y'all, there has been a record flooding here and evacuations. Thankful to be alive and safe. God is good. Yes, Lauren. Amen. 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 and we praying for wherever you at, man. That everybody else is making it out alive and safe, and nobody's separated from their families, man. So shout outs to Lauren, man. God bless you. Everything gonna be all right, Lauren. I'm grateful. Yeah, Lauren. And I stand with you and support, man, for that everything going on, man. Flooding is not good, especially during this time of the year, during the summer floods. Those are the worst. Overseas said all the layers reveal legion. You better know it, brother. That's how we deal with this shit on here. We look at this shit from multiple angles. I was like, okay, now we already established what happened and what's happening physically. We already know Donald Trump don't give a damn. Now, once we start to analyze the nuts and bolts of it, we be like, wait a minute. Abraham Lincoln wasn't just no regular figure. He wasn't just a regular president. You know how many presidents we don't know about who ain't done shit? That's why when you see certain presidents do significant things that are monumental, though that is done on purpose and it's done strategically, so you can remember them and they can stand out amongst presidents. Like you don't see shit that's named after presidents that ain't done a motherfucking thing. Shit that's done shit like the JFK airport and the CIA building, George Bush, the singing. Like there's certain shit, you know what I mean, that's named after greatness. And just because you are a president in particularly don't mean amongst the people that energy, you carry that energy with you. You know what I'm saying? Pinball says salute. What up, brother? What's going on, man? Welcome, bro. Welcome. Hey, Lauren, I'm doing good, man. You in Indiana. Sorry to interrupt and join the stream. Thank you, Lauren. And you're not interrupting. What up, Jonathan? I'm doing great, man. How you doing, Jonathan? Good to see you, fam. Good to see you, fam. For real. Melania said, and he the only president with a car, too. See what I'm saying? Everything gonna be all right, Lauren. That's right, Dante. Everything gonna work out in your favor, man. God is good. Where you at, Lauren? She in Indiana. She in Indiana, bruh. Oh yeah, stay safe, Lauren. Yeah, yeah. That Civil War was about money. Hell yeah. They didn't do a damn thing. They failed. I'm making it. Good, bro. And that's all we could do, man. At this point, man, is continue to make it. We living in a world now, bro, that you can't even sign up for the military and be afforded to have working toilets, man. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what are we really like? This shit don't even seem real that we talking about. Like mental health has gone to the point where, yo, you can't even serve your country without your moral code deteriorate. That you looking at another nigga like he a hot dog or a hamburger because the food that you eating is contaminated and got mold in it and shit. Come on, man. That shit is it's the saddest thing ever, bro. I'm talking about, man, they getting rations, man. We talking about rations, bro. What the man? Rations. Out of order, millennial. The toilets are out of order. Sean said, hey, Jonathan. The toilets are out of order, bruh. Lauren said, hey, Sean. Overseas said, it's always been about greed, corruption, and power. Man, you better say that, fam. And I second that motion. They give a fuck about any of the other shit. We also live in a world where the people are not nice anymore. Hey man, we living in a world where there aren't any people anymore. They ain't nice because they ain't human beings. And I say it all the time. Just because you see somebody with two eyes, five fingers on this side, five fingers on this side, 10 toes, they can't stand 10 toes down because they not human beings. They shapeshifters. Whether you be your reptilians or whatever. That's why I'm waiting on the aliens, man. Fuck all this shit. Go ahead and make the announcement, man. The aliens real and all this other shit. So you can move us to the next phase, which is the Project Bluebeam. Go ahead, give us the fake Antichrist. Go ahead, give us the Bible light. Go ahead, man. I'm tired of this shit. You got real people suffering, man, that's fighting your war who the toilets don't work, man. There's a few light minds in my neighborhood. We have these talks about all through the week. They die. And that's how you build, bro. You build through community. Where you at? You feel me? This stuff is no joke. The folks will burn us all even more if something don't change. I'm telling you, bro. I see it. They gonna turn on the military. You see it, bro. The military killing it. They killing each other. They can't get no better food on nothing. Nothing, bro. They can't nothing get to them. That's terrible. And Donald Trump said he gonna send another boat out there they can use that's similar. That's letting you know they just sending up another fucked up boat. And then when they asked, or there's reports that they've been out there too long, he said they ain't been out there long enough. Shit, bruh, bruh. I'll play that shit. I'll play it. I'll play what he said, man. I'll play that shit. He said they ain't been out there long enough. The lady said, there's reports saying that, they've been out there long enough. He said, they ain't been out there long enough. That's a lie. He said, people reporting about the bad conditions. No, they're not. No, they're not. Dang.
No.
No.
Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
Hear that? Not literally long enough.
Hi, everybody. Ben Parker here from the Bulwark. A little heads up that
Uncle Joe.
Man post
Uncle Joe,
for
blow.
President Trump make his
Hey,
comments
man,
on
this shit sad, Uncle
a
Joe.
whole episode talking about what's going on board that ship and other ships and the terrible state of leadership of the military. And we didn't even have the full information because President Trump waited until after we had recorded to make his comments. So we won't talk about that, but you can listen right now to what he said.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship. No. Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
I am Ben Parker from the book.
You heard it? I ain't making it up. He said, man, they ain't been out there long enough. 250 days straight. Toilets don't work. Food contaminated, got mold in it. People, moral code is deteriorating. That's how they put it. People are jumping off boats. People are reportedly deleting themselves, jumping off because the conditions are so dire. Tell me, how can you fight a war effective like that, y'all? Y'all talk to me. How can you effectively fight a war like that? The toilets don't work. The toilets don't work. Come on, man. How can I salute you, bruh? How can I salute you, man? I ain't got no soap. I'm running out of soap. Ain't no supplies, man. They getting rations, bro. They getting rations of food. This shit crazy, bro. This shit crazy, man. I'm gonna let y'all continue to rock. Hey, bro, you already know. You already know what they setting us up for, man. Man, I gotta keep talking about it because the Navy in particular, man, they be deployed so long away from their families, man, and they risk their life out there. And you mean to tell me they can't even take a shower, man? They can't take a shower, bro. So check this shit out. Yeah, check them out.
Clothes with minimal defects.
They getting paid. They getting fed ration.
Totally free.
I ain't heard that word in, oh my God, since I was little, bro. Rations.
George Washington Carrier Group.
Not when I was little, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln. That follows concerns about deteriorating living conditions and worsening mental health among its crew. The Lincoln has spent more than 250 days and counting on its current deployment. One Democratic senator says the vessel set a modern-day record for sailing without a port call. During that time, there were reports of crew members trying to jump overboard and about horrid living conditions on the vessel. Joining me now, retired U.S. Air Force Colonel and CNN military analyst Cedric Layton. Colonel, a pleasure having you join us to talk about this because I have a suspicion you may have exactly the kind of experience and perspective to help us understand this. So we have these reports, not just of the overboard sailor, but of the conditions on the Lincoln that sailors are dealing with. Shortages of items like soap, not the most hearty of meals, mold in the showers, et cetera, that I think would make even a short stint at sea unpleasant, right? Much less 250 plus days. And that's not to mention the actual job that these service members are tasked with focusing on. Give us an idea of the impacts of these conditions and if there is such a thing as a deployment being too long.
Yeah, well, Brian, it's great to be with you. Well, there's so
See what I'm saying?
plumbing issues. We had,
And two, it's well documented at this point that Secretary Hegseth has been pushing for this warrior culture. Is that a culture that allows for service members to actually admit when they've reached a breaking point where it doesn't have to get filtered through family members?
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? The news would not have got out if it weren't for the family members, bro. Are y'all hearing what he just said? The information in the news had to be filtered through the family because the soldiers are writing. They in communication with their family. They telling them what the fuck they going through. But nobody's reporting it. Nobody reporting this shit, y'all. The government, nobody. So the family members have had to take initiative amongst themselves to make it public. So, yeah. No running water. Can't flush the toilets. Mold in the shower. The food is contaminated. And you got to do this. Man, please. Please. Hell yeah, it's evil. Please.
taking the second part first, I would say that the warrior culture ethos that Secretary Hegseth is trying to impart on the Department of Defense, that
shit crazy. Shit he going through. Man, these commercials, bro. God. Oh.
Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, I'm Ben Parker from the Bulwark. Welcome back to Command Post. I'm joined as ever. Hi, everybody. Ben Parker here from the Bulwark. A little heads up that we recorded Command Post before President Trump made his comments about the USS Abraham Lincoln. So we had a whole episode talking about what's going on board that ship and other ships and the terrible state of leadership of the military. And we didn't even have the full information because President Trump waited until after we'd recorded.
Listen what he said.
So we won't talk about that, but you can listen right now to what he said.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now for very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship. No, not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
I am Ben Parker from the Bulwark.
She said, has the deployment gone too long? 250 days straight with no working toilets. And he say, not nearly long enough. Shit! Hey! Good God Almighty. You got motherfuckers killing themselves, jumping off the boat. And this dude say, they ain't been deployed long enough. Say it. Dante, hey, listen. Yo. That's probably one of the most scary statements I heard this year, bro. They trying to kill him. Yeah, Sean. Yeah. That something, yo. Tiffany. Hey, Tiff. Look who popped up, y'all. What's going on, girl? What's going on, Tip? Tiff say, hey, everyone. But yeah, y'all. Man, y'all know Donald Trump don't make no damn sense, yo. Come on, man. That's not the response. That's not the patriotic thing to say. And then you saying you're gonna send a similar ship. Come on, man. Overseas say, couldn't they do an airdrop that help until they fix the problem? That's what 18 said overseas. 18 said the same thing earlier. Can't they could send a helicopter? You know what I'm saying? Some shit going on, bro. Hey, man, say, man, it's bad enough they fighting a useless war. I'm telling you, bro. Sean say, happy Friday, Tiff. Pinball said, when I served 86 to 92, hey, man, appreciate your service, my brother. Was normal to captains and other brass socializing with the troops to make sure their mental was straight. Hey, man, salute to you, Pinball. Yes, sir. Thank you for your service. And that make a lot of sense, Pinball, man, because listen, man, you cannot fight a war if your mental health, if you're not there. Come on, man. Your body there, but your mind is on the other side of town. That's a song. Your body here with me, but your mind on the other side of town. Tiffany said, Lauren, you and your community are in my prayers. Hey, Tiffany, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. We definitely praying shoulder to shoulder with Lauren, man, standing with her, man. Salute. Yeah, man. Through fights, they can rotate the crew, right? Thank you for your service, Pinball. Thank you, bro. That's what Lauren said. Pinball said, peace to the doc. But yeah, y'all, we gonna check out the get this dude right here. He like some type of general. He gonna speak what you know what I mean, what he got to say.
Welcome back to Command Post. I'm joined as ever by our very own Lieutenant General Mark Hertling, recent winner of the Nonfiction Writers Association Award. Congratulations.
Yeah, I just heard about that this morning, Ben. Thank you so much for commenting on that. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Unfortunately, that is the last piece of good news we have to discuss.
Dang.
I am frankly kind of furious today. I read Morning Shots. Bill Crystal wrote about the situation that's going on with the USS Abraham Lincoln and the sailors on board that ship and what the Navy is not doing about it. So we got to talk about this crisis that's developing today because it is just an abuse of the people in uniform. It is terrible leadership. And it is a catastrophe that we warned about earlier on Command Post months ago, and nothing's been done. So just to catch everyone up, I think it was back in maybe March or April, we talked on Command Post about these reports we were getting from sailors on an extended deployment aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln and other ships involved in the Iran War, that they were getting what looked like really measly food rations, that they
Rations, man! Measly rations! Every time I hear that word, bro, you're gonna get a reaction out of it. Rations. These are grown ass men, soldiers, and you feeding soldiers rations, bruh. Meaningless rations. They doing that bad where you eating rations. No, bro, no. They giving the soldiers rations, man. Come on, man. Rations, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hi, everybody. Ben Parker here from The Bulwark. A little heads up that we recorded Command Post before President Trump made his comments about the USS Abraham Lincoln. So we had a whole episode talking about what's going on board that ship and other ships and the terrible state of leadership of the military. And we didn't even have the full information because President Trump waited until after we'd recorded to make his comments. So we won't talk about that, but you can listen right now to what he said.
Oh, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving.
No, they're not.
Very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship. No. Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
I am Ben Parker from The Bulwark. Welcome back to Command Post. I'm joined as ever by our very own Lieutenant General Mark Hertling, recent winner of the Nonfiction Writers Association Award. Congratulations.
Yeah, I just heard about that this morning, Ben. Thank you so much for commenting on that. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Unfortunately, that is the last piece of good news we have to discuss. I am frankly kind of furious today. I read Morning Shots. Bill Kristol wrote about the situation that's going on with the USS Abraham Lincoln.
Hit a ration, bro.
That ship and what the Navy is not doing about it. So we got to talk about this crisis that's developing today because it is just
It's a crisis.
an abuse of the people in uniform. It is terrible leadership, and it is a catastrophe that we warned about earlier on Command Post months ago, and nothing's been done. So just to catch everyone up, I think it was back in maybe March or April, we talked on Command Post about these reports we were getting from sailors on an extended deployment aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln and other ships involved in the Iran War, that they were getting what looked like really measly food rations, that they had no idea when their deployment was going to end, that they were having troubles with resupply and morale and being relieved. And now it turns out that the problem is so bad.
Jews don't run the world. Freemasons don't run the world. It's much darker than that. If you know their name, their organization, their family, they don't run the world. They're just puppets. The ones who actually run this world have been running it for thousands of years. And
This is a commercial. Y'all see this shit?
They made you feel, the sides they made you pick.
This is the commercials I get.
The fear they fed you. None of it was real. All of it was staged to keep you from ever looking up, because if you looked up, you'd start asking questions. And if you asked enough questions, you'd find the same answer that every ancient civilization found before you. Egypt found it, Sumeria found it, Greece found it, Babylon found it. And they all recorded the same thing. Beings that came down and took women and created something that should never exist. Children that weren't fully human. Children that grew into giants so massive and so violent that entire nations were slaughtered just trying to survive them. The ancient world called them Nephilim. And here's what no one will tell you: that bloodline didn't die. It survived the flood. It buried itself inside the families that have held power ever since. They're still here, still in control, and still terrified of one thing. Not the armies, not the governments, and not the religions, but of humans finding out there's power inside them that doesn't come from any system, that doesn't require permission, and cannot flow through the Nephilim bloodline at all. I didn't learn this in church. I didn't learn this anywhere. That's why the scripture that documented it had to disappear. Scripture that exposed who this bloodline is, what humans were actually.
This is a commercial.
And exactly how to access what was placed inside them from the beginning.
This is an ad that came to my stuff.
Erased from every Bible on earth. And for thousands of years, it worked. This is the part I can't.
They're using Legos.
Generations of believers were born into a faith with missing pages, praying and feeling nothing, reading scripture and still feeling lost, asking God for answers and hearing silence, wondering what's wrong with them, why they can't feel what they're supposed to feel, why the power the Bible talks about never shows up in their lives, blaming themselves, thinking they're not faithful enough, not good enough, not chosen, never knowing that the instructions were stolen before they were born. I felt that my whole life. I thought it was me, never knowing that there are angels assigned to every believer. Scripture mentions them, but the part that explained how to call on them, how to work with them, what they're actually assigned to do, that part was stripped out. There's power placed inside every human being created by God. Scripture hints at it. God says that the kingdom of heaven is within you, but the part that explained what that power is and how to access it was burned. Like they're keys to understanding what God actually meant in his word. Pages of discernment that were stripped out, insights that unlock passages that have confused believers for centuries. They were all labeled heretical and erased. This wasn't an accident. This was theft. A believer who knows what's inside them is dangerous. A believer who can access the power God placed in them doesn't need anything standing between them and God. That's exactly what the Nephilim bloodline couldn't allow. So they stripped it out, buried it, and made sure the world would forget it ever existed. But there was one place they never reached, a nation that has been guarding sacred objects since before the flood, the same nation that claims to hold the Ark of the Covenant, the same nation that has never been conquered by any outside empire. And that nation is Ethiopia. Ethiopia became the first Christian nation in the world long before any other nation converted to Christianity, which means they received the original scriptures directly, the complete scriptures, before the councils, before the burnings, before anyone decided what needed to be removed. By the time the world started issuing orders to destroy certain books, Ethiopia had already been protecting those books for generations, and they weren't about to stop. So while the rest of the world and their churches were stripping out books and calling them heretical, Ethiopia kept every single one book by book, word for word, exactly how God intended it to be. That's why Ethiopia has the biggest Bible in the world with 88 books, unlike the 66 they gave you. God's complete word survived, and with it, the keys that unlock what humans were actually created to be and what was placed inside them from the beginning. Everything they tried to bury was preserved word for word. For over 1,000 years, this Bible has been waiting. This is what I went looking for. But even now, getting it isn't easy. Try finding one online. Amazon is filled with versions that claim to be complete but have entire chapters missing, with key passages conveniently left out and words changed to soften what was actually written. The same scriptures that expose who's really running this world, still buried under safe, comfortable language that doesn't threaten anyone. I almost bought 4 different versions before I realized they were all still censored. That's not an accident. That's the censorship continuing. Then I found Faith Made, a small group of believers who went straight to Ethiopia, straight to the source, and brought back the complete ancient Bible exactly as Ethiopia had preserved it for over 1,000 years, word for word, with nothing stripped, nothing softened, and nothing changed to be made safe to read. They have everything that was stripped from your Bible, with a full account of the Watchers, the origin of the Nephilim bloodline and where it went and who carries it today, the scriptures that reveal what humans were actually created to be and how to access what was placed inside them. All of it exposed, preserved, and finally accessible. But this isn't something mass-produced. Faith Made is a small team that is limited with the batches being produced. When a batch sells out, it could be weeks or months before more are ready. If the link below still works, then it's still available. And there's no risk in seeing it for yourself because they give you 90 days. 90 days to read what they buried. 90 days to see why they were so terrified of you finding it. And if it doesn't change the way you pray, the way you read scripture, the way you understand what's really running this world, then send it back. Every penny returned with no questions asked. But I'll tell you right now, once you see what was taken from you, you won't want to go back to an edited Bible, because the prayers that hit ceilings start breaking through. The scriptures that never made sense suddenly click. The power that always felt out of reach becomes real. That's the complete word of God. They've kept it from us for 1,000 years. That ends now. The link is below. If it still works, the Ethiopian Bible is waiting.
Problem is so bad.
I'm gonna let that chill for a minute. I'm gonna let that. That's the frequency I'm on. Those are ads that be coming to my Yo, when you just let shit happen organic, gotta blow your mind. God will blow your mind. God will blow your mind, yo. For real. Straight up. So, but getting back to the Donald Trump thing and his response to, yo, Sean, that is crazy. Won't nothing random. Won't nothing. I was about to put there. I was playing the Donald Trump stuff, and y'all seen it. The joke came right on the phone. The YouTube played the commercial, putting it all out there, and they used Legos. The way Enoch described God's chariot. Yes, just like a spaceship. Come on, overseas. Talk about it. Oh, a wheel in the middle of a wheel. What is that? What is a wheel in the middle of the wheel? Sound like a spinning top space saucer to me. That's what he saw. And I won't even on that frequency, man. I mean, I won't. I was on some talking about what was actually going on, and that shit came across my ass at commercial, bro. Come on, bro. Doc, there's a lot of pages of the codex, yes, that have been found and hidden away. Yes, yes. Gyroscope. I'm telling you, man. Why do y'all think uh Putin, Vladimir, President Vladimir Putin, why do you think he addressed his country by saying that they unlocked the Ethiopian vault, which is the oldest vault, Christian vault known to man. The Ethiopian, because you know they've been protecting them books and shit for thousands of years. Hell yeah. And we'll definitely tap back in that. I want to tap in back into Donald Trump. But we could talk about this Ethiopian shit before while I roll up. And we could talk about Vladimir Putin making a national address to his country saying that they need to embrace the idea of Black Jesus because according to the oldest vault in the world, which is under the relics of the Ethiopian church, everything, the disciples, Jesus' mother, the Virgin Mary, everything is Black. So we could just bullshit with the commercial right quick and get back on task in a minute. Everybody good?
The truth has finally surfaced. The Bluetooth speaker industry has been hiding this for decades, but now
Hell yeah, he said it real. Hell yeah.
Yo, what's the word? Today we got your boy Putin and how stupid him and his team think that we are, right? So apparently they opened a box that appears to be a Black Jesus. Now I want y'all to take a look at this against NBR thoughts.
Today, Vladimir Putin reveals to the world a secret that European has been hiding from African for more than a millennium, that Jesus was black.
Now, the problem that I have with this issue is that I know, as well as a lot of other people, Vladimir Putin opening the box and revealing that there's a black Jesus, and his expressions, his emotions afterwards was completely flawed, right? There was no shock factor. There was none.
Man, they don't give a fuck about no shock factor, man. He's white. Why the fuck you looking for a reaction from somebody that ain't white? Why your reaction ain't floored, dummy?
To bring Langelo theft and
Hold on.
Here I go now to it. Please check my timeline. We did a video on Alexei Navalny. We showed you how Vladimir Putin can be an outright tyrannical scoundrel. But two things can be true. And the laws of the universe, according to duality, certainly apply here. Because he has recently, allegedly, has released something from his vault featuring the Black Jesus and Saints. As it says, unveiling sparks controversy. See, on this side of the channel, there's absolutely no controversy at all when it comes to the image, when it comes to the Black Jesus, quote unquote. There is no.
Ding dong, it's Realtor.com time. The kids in a red shot with a view. And your Monday boss suite. Shalom, family. Shalom. Shalom. To follow, to worship, to deceive us, to cause us to be in transgression against our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. His name is Yahweh. You know, to deceive us, get us to grow astray, to steal our identity, you know, and to take the truth from us. But the Most High, He prophesied, He told us that we will wake up in the land of our enemies and we will begin to remember ourselves. And so that's what's going on. And we know the enemy have done this to us. The wicked. Who rules right now? The enemy is ruling right now. He's in rulership. So we know he did that. I'm going to get a couple of precepts and then we're going to get straight into Putin announcement and him opening up the vault, showing the true identity of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai. What did he look like? We know he walked the earth. We know he had a fleshly body. We know it had an image just like we do. What do you look like? What the prophets look like? And when we look at this, we should see ourselves. And that's the thing, like, for a long time, the truth was stripped from us. And so when we read the Bible, we didn't see ourselves. We couldn't identify. We couldn't really identify because we didn't know. The truth had been taken from us. But let me give a couple precepts. This is First Maccabees, chapter 3 and 48. It said, and laid through the Yahweh, the children of Israel, and I'm telling you, you have to come back to your homeland, here to Zion, to Jerusalem, because as the Gentiles, we do need you. We need you to come and pray because you are our Savior. You know that was chosen by Yahweh to live in this land, not the Jewish people, it's you. You were stolen from Africa, they deceived you, they told you that you are slaves, but you actually the children of Israel. And it's time just to come back.
That's for young people and that's for us, come back to the all Gentiles because only you can save us. So please come back to that.
You see that? So let me stop sharing my screen. Hopefully y'all was able to see that video. Could y'all see that video? I hope y'all could and hear it. Just drop a one if y'all heard and seen that video. I want to move forward, but I want to make sure that y'all heard it.
Yeah, so you got people in Palestine that believe also that people that's over here that we are the children of Israel, and they're asking us to come back because only they believe they believe we can save them. Jesus was a hybrid shape-shifting at will. Hey man, he was half man, half God. You know what I mean? It was in his DNA. You know what I mean?
Forget buying a brand new car and stop looking down at your phone for directions. You're about to get the smartest, most powerful AI co-pilot in the world.
Jesus was the demigod.
Ivy League PhDs in automotive engineering, alongside
A black man can see like a stereo, but he can't be the same. A black man can see like a stereo, but he can't be the same. A black man can see like a stereo. Can't be the same.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 10. Explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. And we repeat this back. Genesis 14, verse 13. Abraham steps on the scene. Being the descendant of Shem, which is a fact. Abraham too was black. Abraham was born in the seed of a black man called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Cain. Here, let me explain. Abraham's Isaac plus the blood. Jacob had 12 sons, Leah, and these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel.
Hey man, KRS-One put it in a song, man. He lets you know. He lets you know where we came from. So the war on melanated people takes on a different meaning when you consider the role that us as a people, the role we had in shaping the religion and the spirituality for the whole world. The concept of Christ is African. Y'all like that shit, dude? Yeah. The concept of Christ is African first. Sorry. That's history. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church is the oldest living church. And it's the only nation that was never converted from its Christianity and roots. Okay? So you could talk about from the imperial regimes of all the Haile Selassies and all of them fighting the French. I'm not sure what color Jesus was. But here's the thing: people who ain't melanated try to make it not be a big deal. What is that about? Why when we actually talk about the physical features of Jesus, why is it downplayed like it's not important? I don't want to know. I don't feel no type of way now. I just want to know the answer to that question. Why when people start actually wanting to break down how he looked, people try to make it seem like how he looked is not relevant. I'm real. It has a lot of connection to be the Kabbalah. Yeah, which is for sure. But see the Kabbalah is what the Illuminati go by. See, that's they shit. But the Kabbalah is giving you the more the mystic attributes of Jesus, the alchemy part of how Jesus worked. The Kabbalah deals with the Gnostics. Do y'all know what the Gnostics are? Do anybody know what the Gnostics? Because Christianity weren't always called Christianity, and those that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. So you had to worship Jesus in secret because he was persecuted based on he was saying that he was the son of God and shit. They won't kill his ass. It's always a problem if you say he's a person of color, especially black. Now we're cooking. Sean, we know he was not a white man. Right. But who commissioned Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci to depict Jesus as a white man? The Pope. The Pope did that shit and mandated them artists to change everybody white. The Sean, Putin even said it. That's what I'm saying. Hey Sean, this is what I'm getting at. Putin said Jesus was black, and the country need to warm up to the idea of black Jesus. And it's like he might as well not even said it because we as black people aren't even responding, don't even feel like that's worthy enough to respond to. You beating a dead horse. Overseas, the Ethiopian says nothing about the color of Jesus' skin. No, but Jesus was raised in a region where the people had color. Now that's in the Ethiopian Bible. Jesus was raised in a region where the people had color. And so when you have color, that means you're not pale. And if you're looking at anywhere around that region, now we're talking about essentially geography. When we look at the geography of the time and land and what was going on, you know goddamn well, excuse me, Lord, that Jesus was not a pale face, especially in the time and region where all that shit was going down. You're a damn fool if you believe a white man can survive those conditions and those customs during that time. Now, once you go Slavic, once you start to go like west, so now I'm talking about Afghanistan and Pakistan and all them stands, all of them. That's where you start to see the people lighten up. But they were Muslim. They Muslims. They weren't Christianity. Ethiopia is the oldest recorded form of Christianity, bro. And Ethiopia, last I checked, is in Africa. So the oldest concept of Christ is African. How that African look, I could give a damn. So in the Ethiopian Bible, it does say Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. Now, it don't go into the specifics of his skin. You're right. The oppression of this planet is so horrible. Us as a people had to keep fighting the good fight, right? Evil is hard working, right? And fighting the good fight is continuing to press the issue to want to know the truth. Fighting the fight is our curiosity, bro, and our interest. And we know that interest also deals with money. And what we say, you cannot separate time and value, bro. Dolo. So feet as a burnt brass ain't in the Ethiopian Bible. Nah, Dolo. But Jesus being born in a land where the people had color is in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church Bible. Dolo referring to Jesus' skin tone, right? Yeah. Those descriptive shit, yeah, that's out of the King James. That's the King James version. But the Ethiopian Bible wasn't so descriptive on Jesus. But they were descriptive of Jesus' genealogy and where he came from. So in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, it mentions Jesus as being a Nazarite, a Nazarene. So Jesus came from the same bloodline as Samson. Jesus was born in the city of Nazareth. If you're a if you're born in the city of Nazareth, then you're a Nazarite or a Nazarene. Okay. So when you're dealing with being a Nazarene, you're born into Judaism. Okay. So get out of your mind that the concept of Christ, like serving God and like serving God, the one deity known as Yahweh, that's thousands of years older than the concept of Christ. Okay? Yahweh, the concept of Yahweh and the concept of Christ, and this is what you was talking about, the Cabal. The Cabal does not speak of Jesus Christ, but only speaks of a Savior. Okay? And so with the people who still believe in the Cabal, that Savior could come in any form. But they just know it's gonna be black. So how you know what I mean? Salute. I'm here to the 7-Eleven. Y'all want something? Hey, bro. Hey. I hope you talking in code when you talking about I want 7-Eleven, because you know what thank heaven for 7-Eleven mean, don't you? Dot. If you about that knowledge, what happened in 7-Eleven? What happened in the year 7-Eleven? Somebody tell me. Y'all see that? Henceforth, that's why they came up with the store name, the franchise 7-Eleven. Where did that concept come from? And who owns, what nationality owns the 7-Elevens, first of all? And why is that significant in history? 7-Eleven, the year 7-Eleven. Why is that significant? And why do Arabs own all the 7-Eleven? I'm trying to give y'all as much clues as I can without telling y'all the answer. Think about it. All the Arabs own all the 7-Elevens, right? But there was something significant happened in the year 7-Eleven that inspired, even to this day, stores all over the world based off a concept that was inspired off of history. Think about all the Arabs. Why Arabs own the 7-Eleven? What's so significant about that year? That'll be y'all homework assignment. Can't just get it to you. But anyway, yeah. So Putin, 7-Eleven, the collapse of the Christian kingdom. Yes, sir. And that collapse of the Christian kingdom came of the conquest from Morocco, 7-Eleven, the Muslims. The Muslims came from Morocco into Spain. All right? Now we're talking about entering the what? Medieval time. Homework done. Okay, bet. Yes, sir. You on point, brother. Who came over here on boats in 7-Eleven and started and invaded? Literally. Some were Berbers. Yes, sir. Shit, buddy already did his work. Hey, man. You got it. Hey, they all right. My boy own it. So 7-Eleven began to mark the age of the Crusades, the holy wars. Okay. So now that with the blunt roll, we could go right back into our Trump shit. Okay. I ain't gonna lead y'all astray. I know where we was at the whole time. So dealing with the USS Abraham Lincoln, yo, if you're dealing with the worst conditions in real life where you're around, as 18 said, feces and urine. You're around feces and urine, having mental collapses and a moral
Right now, both sides are claiming
immoral deterioration and all that shit. Check this shit out.
All right, AMAC, you're live now from Bonn. So turn our attention right now to the Middle East. More developments as the U.S. and Iran remain at an impasse over negotiations over ending the conflict between the two countries and also reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the stalemate, tens of thousands of U.S. service members remain deployed in the Middle East, but there are new concerning reports of deteriorating morale amongst troops. For more on this, let's go out to Rebecca Castor with the latest.
U.S. forces in the Middle East remain on high alert, ready to return to combat operations against Iran should President Trump give the order.
At some point, maybe they'll do something and then they get blown away. But right now, we're in a very good position.
But sailors aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier are reportedly not in a good position. At a town hall with Navy leadership last week, some family members expressed concerns the Lincoln's prolonged deployment is affecting sailors' mental health. And there are reports some have even tried to jump overboard. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal sent a letter to Pentagon leaders Wednesday highlighting the deteriorating mental health conditions, along with reports of supply shortages, water contamination, plumbing issues, and safety concerns.
This war is so reckless and so costly without clear aims or ends.
With negotiations between the U.S. and Iran seemingly at a standstill, it's unlikely troops will be recalled from the Middle East anytime soon. Right now, both sides.
My King's Knights, yes sir. I don't be playing about that knowledge salute lister for catching that code. You already know, Doc. Hey, bro, real recognize real, fam. Doc say fast, hey. Yeah, man. So pretty much when you go to swear in and then they deploy you, bro, the conditions that you subjected to, you can't even complain. Like you hear people that are complaining about the conditions when they locked up in jail, but man, they're pretty much in that same position. They're forced to work. They're forced to still try to do their tasks, and because of the oath they took to their country with that brainwash shit, only for the country to spit in your face, man, and not even give you the essentials like soap, food, water without no mold being in it, mold all in the showers, toilets don't even flush, feces and urine is what you got to deal with, to the point where, yo, you got your friends committing suicide, jumping off the boat, jumping like the Titanic, jumping off the boat. At this point, they better off fighting for the Keebler elves than the president. My goodness, right? It's crazy, bro. I'm gonna see what my boy had to say about this shit, bro.
Shut up.
Let me see. Let me find that shit. There we go.
This is fake. This is fake. And this is definitely fake. Whatever you do, do not get scammed buying these fake products. I have the Complete Ethiopian Bible by Faith Mays, and I know the covers look exactly the same.
It's another.
Inside.
Turns out that the problem is so bad that several sailors have thrown themselves overboard. One specifically threw himself off the USS Abraham Lincoln. They didn't immediately tell his family. They, in fact, it appears, sort of tried to prevent the family from finding out. And when the sailor's wife asked, "What happened to my husband?" they said, he's fine. I cannot believe that the people who constantly defend from any criticism by saying, well, you don't support the troops, are treating the troops like this. General, what did you think when you were reading these stories about the terrible conditions aboard the Lincoln?
Well, we talked about this, as you said, Ben, way back in April. And it was fascinating then because from a commander's perspective, and this is, after all, command post, you say, okay, we've got some challenges in the force right now because we don't have the capability to resupply as best we can. The supply chains to our ships have been disrupted. We haven't been able to go into ports because the ports are actually being struck by Iranian missiles. So from a commander's perspective, you know that they're under constrained conditions. But you would also think, okay, at that point, those in the Navy or those in Central Command would start thinking, what do we need to do about this? We are getting reports on lack of food, some bad conditions on board the ship. And I should bring something up right now, Ben. You know, everyone is talking about the Abraham Lincoln, the aircraft carrier, but this is part of a carrier strike group. So there are destroyers and cruisers and frigates and submarines that are all part of this group who haven't come up on the net, as it were, but I'm suspecting that they might be experiencing some of the same supply challenges as the Lincoln is, but they're also likely experiencing more maintenance problems than the Lincolns, because the Lincoln is a nuclear powered carrier. The rest of them have a lot of diesel engines, and those diesel engines wear out. They've got to resupply fuel, all those kind of things. This has been building, and it's finally hit the point where people are starting to notice. And it took literally a sailor jumping off a ship for people to start taking notice. And now it's all over the news. And having been in an extended deployment twice in my career.
Damn. So somebody did jump off, bro. Somebody jumped off the boat, bro. This shit all over the news. They've been suppressing this shit, bro. You got people reportedly asking where my husband at, and they response, well, he's fine. This shit unbelievable, y'all. It's unfortunate. It really is. It's unfortunate, to say the least. Hold on. I'm back, y'all. But yeah, man, it's unfortunate, yo. It's unfortunate. Let's hear what my man got to say.
You understand that what's happening to these sailors are creating dog days. And it's even worse, and here I am, an Army guy saying this, it's even worse in the Navy than it is in the Army. I mean, if you're in the Army, you can tell a guy, hey, take a break, go to R&R, do something like that. If you're in the Navy, you're continuing to do 24/7 shifts. You have shift work. You're in a constrained space on a cruise ship. You can't get repair parts. I mean, in the Army, you had porta potties on our forward operating bases. In the Navy, you have toilets that break down and showers that don't work. And I'm painting the picture of life on an aircraft carrier because it is loud, it's constrained, it's constant duty, there's no breaks. And when you're talking about almost a year in a deployment, that's a pretty heady thing to be discussing. And knowing that morale is going to be low because every day is a dog day for those sailors on board these ships.
Yeah, this is something we've been talking about, you and I, in the Bulwark Slack channel. You were on a deployment that got extended. You've told the stories of when you had to go tell the families, actually, we're not coming home after all. We're going to be in Iraq a little longer, and how much anger that caused. It's not an unusual thing in the military to be told you're going to have to sacrifice, you're going to have to suffer, you're going to have to risk things for the mission. But where's the mission? Right? Yeah. It's one thing to ask people to sacrifice and risk and endure for a period of time with an ending, because at the end of it, there's something worthwhile we're going to accomplish. For these sailors, I can't imagine.
Yes, sir. The aircraft carrier, the runway for the jets. The runways for the jets, brother. You know what I'm saying? So for the people who navigating the jets to take off and to come back, bro. For those people not to have the essentials, the basic essentials like a working toilet and sufficient amount of amount of soap, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, man. I would never join. I'm sorry, hey, bro. Look at what you got to deal with.
Imagine what they're thinking. Like, is there an end date? Or are we just going to do this forever? Are we ever going to get relieved? Or are we just going to do this until like the end of time? And even if we do, like, what are we accomplishing here? We're not doing any good. It's not like we're defeating the enemy. It's not like we're winning a war. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'll bring up one vignette. I don't think I told you this story. When we were extended in our deployment.
Hey, yo, this is a lieutenant general. Okay? A lieutenant general talk.
I was the assistant division commander for support, so I was pushing troops out. We had literally pushed about a third of our 20,000 man and woman organization back to Europe, back to their posts in Europe. So we had about 8,000 soldiers already returning home. And in fact, in one welcome home ceremony, a local German newspaper took a picture of a soldier hugging his wife. And before that picture appeared on the front page of the local newspaper, he was back in Iraq already. So we brought people back, but at least they had a taste. And to your point, they knew what the mission was. There was an uprising in Iraq. We had fought for a year to tamp things down, and Muqtada Sadr pulled it back up. In some of the reports from the Navy, one that I read that really struck my heart is a sailor wrote to his wife and said, I'm not even sure what the mission is, and I don't even know if I'm not committing war crimes, which we have talked about as well.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what that man just said? He said, man, they got letters of the soldiers telling their wife, I don't even know what my mission is. I don't even have a clear indication to what I'm doing here. They don't even know what they're doing that they risk in life. And not only that, they saying, man, they're not even sure if they committing war crimes. Dang, Sean, you almost took that oath. Man, I will enjoy my peace for a little village while it lasts. That's right, man. Most shit, my dad retired, man, from the Marine Corps. All my granddad, all my cousins, they in this shit, bro. Overseas. The world is a wonderland on crack. I agree, bro. This some crackhead shit. This some crackhead shit. Yeah. The world is a wonderland on crack, bro. Yeah. Look, my boy said straight up. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Word. Shit crazy. Mm. Let's see. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody being here. We're going to let the Lieutenant General keep talking, man, so he can paint a picture of what the soldiers going to. Man, shout out to all the veterans, to all the people still serving. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, man. How in the world you going to salute, man, to your superiors, man, and the toilets don't work, bro? Come on, man. The showers don't work.
You know, are the things that the sailor basically said, I'm not sure the things I'm doing are legal. So you see not only the confusion about the mission, which has always been confusing. We've talked about that dozens of times on here on Command Post. But even the fact that they are questioning what they're doing in some cases, and on board a ship, unlike on a Navy base an Army base where, you know, early deployments, you were doing mail call. Recent deployments, you were setting up internet cafes so soldiers could talk to their wife. When Wi-Fi goes out on the ship, there ain't nobody talking. And in this case, with the soldier who jumped overboard, his wife is 19 years old. And I've experienced that too, where you have a young service.
The dude that had committed suicide, wife was 19 years old, bro. That. What do you say about that, man? Hey, real man, I appreciate that, fam. For real, bro. For real, I enjoy being out here with y'all, yo. Truth be told, for real, man. But I hate covering topics like this, though. It's unfortunate, man, because I love my country, but this not a proud moment, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this fucked up. How you gonna have people out there risking their life and they starving, bro? They getting fed rations because the food is contaminated, bro. Come on, man. Where they do that at? Man, you gotta keep that shit all the way real, bro. You gotta keep that shit all the way gangster, man. That ain't right. It keeps me up at night sometimes. Evil has a tight grip on the world. Much love and respect to everybody who's trying to keep your head up. We got it. Yeah, man, we got the shit, man. We got it for sure. And how I know we got it is we gonna keep exposing this shit, bro. You know what I mean? I can see how people don't want to fuck with it, you know what I mean, talking about it, but man, we gotta talk about that shit, bro. I mean, it's flat out wrong. We'll be tripping and we got our little bullshit 9 to 5 job. If they ain't got the porta potty, if they ain't empty that bitch or the wherever you use the bathroom at, the employee bathroom, let them bitches not change it. You gonna say something after a while. After a while, you gonna say something. So let's hear more, man, what my man got to say.
Member and a young spouse, and boy, they signed up thinking they were getting into something to serve their country, and this is what they're experiencing. It just reinforces how bad this is.
We've mentioned some of these texts and communications back and forth that they were able to get between this one sailor and his wife. From Stars and Stripes, one mother said, "My son is currently on that ship, and listening to him say that he and his shipmates constantly think about jumping off the ship for relief is just so hard to listen to." A spouse of a sailor told a Navy official,
You hear that shit, man? Are y'all hearing this? This shit real, y'all. This shit real. This shit real. This shit real. Those are real letters from the soldiers saying, man, I want to jump off and end this shit. I want to end this shit. This shit it's too much. God, leave.
that she got a text from her husband saying he hopes he doesn't wake up tomorrow. The Navy Times said Annabelle Loma has spoken with her husband only a few times since he attempted to jump overboard from the Abraham Lincoln during his current deployment. She said he's scared. He thinks he'll get a dishonorable discharge, and just because he was burnt out, his 13-year career is ruined, just like that. That's not fair. That's not right. That's not what he should be worrying about right now. So those are some of the communications that people have been getting, and that, as you said, they confronted the Navy with, and the Navy said, hyperbolic, made up.
Every commander in the U.S. military, Ben, will tell you those are.
And you got the president saying they lying, that's some bullshit. Wow. Saying that the soldiers, the sailors are lying. Donald Trump ain't shit, bro.
All indicatives of something called suicide ideations. And you better get help, whether it's a mental health professional, which they have on board the ships, or just turning to their battle buddy and saying, you know, they turn to me and they say, hey, what's going on with Parker? He's been saying things like jumping off a ship. What's going on? Oh, I don't know, Chief. I'll take care of him. We'll get it squared away. And you get battle buddies involved, or you get doctors involved, or the chain of command involved. And I'm sure that's happening on board the ship. But boy, it seems like there's a trend line based on these messages that are overpowering in terms of suicide ideations on board a ship.
Yeah, it's terrible. We got to talk about how poor the leadership is here from the very top, right? I haven't heard the president talking about this. I haven't heard him doing anything about it. Secretary Hegseth, we're going to play a clip in just a sec. He basically said it's fake news. The chief of naval operations, who Hegseth handpicked after he fired the old chief of naval operations, said the reports grossly mischaracterized the situation. The acting secretary of the Navy hasn't been doing anything. All the senior leadership is trying to ignore this problem and brush it under the rug. And these are the people who claim we support the troops.
Can I make one comment? The acting secretary of the Navy did go to San Diego, and he was faced with spouses and family members, and they destroyed him. And I experienced that too. And rightfully so. You've got to hear from the distaff side in terms of how they're feeling about their sailor being deployed. But the second thing, the clip you're about to show, I think we ought to reinforce the fact This was said yesterday.
Yeah.
After a week-long media campaign and media blitz saying, what the hell is going on the Lincoln? Here's what our Secretary of...
You!
Man. All right. I should be asking you that.
You mean?
Campaign and media blitz saying, what the hell is going on the Lincoln? Here's what our Secretary of Defense said yesterday.
Completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment. Some deployments are longer than others, and I have more respect and gratitude for those sailors than anybody. What they do in those seas and those operations with less port calls.
Said, don't say like.
I mean, the Americans don't understand what it's like to do that. So, as someone who's not been on a ship like that, but been on long deployments, I feel it. I want them home as soon as everybody else. I want folks rotated as quickly as possible. I want the best for them. My commanders know that. Our service secretaries know that. The president expects that. And so to that crew, to all those crews, we're going to do everything we can for you. And we're so grateful for their dedication of that crew and others. They've held the line for the country. They've done fantastic stuff.
First of all, Ben, can I point out, the Secretary of Defense just said he's been on a deployment. That is correct. He was in Iraq for a specific number of times. It was not an extended deployment. He was a lieutenant at the time. He wasn't making the kind of command decisions or really concerned about large level operational supply chains and logistics and those kind of things. So using that hyperbole to claim, oh yeah, I'm like one of them because I was there too. And by the way, he was a reserve officer when he did it, and he was a reinforcing officer, which meant in case somebody got shot, he'd step in. So he's never commanded anything. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a deterrent for him understanding of what's going on. But, you know, to put yourself in that position and be the real tough guy. And yeah, I was there like just like they are, not like the sailors, but like the Army on extended deployment. Yeah, don't bring that into it because you have no idea what the feelings are like in this kind of situation.
You know, when you are in a position like the presidency, like if you're Secretary of Defense, like if you are a service chief, you're the highest ranking officer in your service, if you're one of the service secretaries, you have a moral responsibility to be good at your job. And the most generous explanation I can give to all of this is that they just didn't plan. And Trump said, we're starting a war, and they didn't come up with plans for it, and they had no idea how it was going to go. And so still, months and months and months later, the Navy is kind of flailing to figure out, like, okay, what ships need to be in dry dock, what ships need to be in refit, and what, you know, crews can we get, what airways can we get, and they're still figuring out all the logistics, and things are very complicated. And so it's not like they intended for the Lincoln to be out this long. They just screwed it up because they were put in a bad position. That's why it's important to have people in these positions who know something and have some experience and are responsible and are going to think it through. It's not enough to say, oh, well, I care the most. Caring the most doesn't make you a good...
But the motherfucker don't care. That's the thing. He don't even care. He don't care.
See?
Let me see.
Here, I just got off MS with my girl Alicia Menendez. We talked about a bunch of stuff, so I just wanted to share it with you all as well. We talked about the increasing calls from Democrats for Pete Hegseth to resign, and I offered some theories about why I think Donald Trump is continuing to stick with Pete Hegseth despite his obvious incompetence. We talked about the Democrats' messaging on the campaign trail, weighed in on a James Tallarico speech, why I think his message is connected.
Give you more of in-depth. There we go.
Good evening from New York. I'm Antonia Hilton in tonight for Chris Hayes. Every day, the immense financial and moral costs of Donald Trump's war come into sharper and sharper view. All week long, we've been telling you about the saga of the USS Abraham Lincoln, one of the biggest symbols of American military might, whose 5,000 sailors and Marines are in crisis, at war, and at sea since last November. Their tour extended twice, no port calls, no land, Families tell MS Now the crew has gone hungry without showers or mail, basic toiletries or hot water or drinkable water for long, long stretches, as the fleet can't keep up with the increased logistics of an open-ended war. And many service members are in a mental health crisis. Multiple Lincoln sailors have jumped or attempted to jump overboard. The wife of one showed MS Now a text in which her husband wrote in the days before he jumped, "The boat is finally getting to me." The mother of another sailor told MS Now that the problem is not the ship, it's their leaders.
What I want people to know is how would you feel if that was your kid over there, right? And I've heard people say this about Trump and his son. Send your son over there if this is all okay to you. And I don't disagree with them. How would you feel if that was your son over there? How would you feel if this was you over there?
Where is the president on all of this? Yesterday, we heard from Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who denied there were any problems on board the Lincoln, a claim directly undercut, by the way, by the fact the Navy prepared to redirect another aircraft carrier, the USS George Washington, from its station in the Pacific to relieve the Lincoln. A move that will then mean that the U.S. has no carriers left behind in the Pacific for the foreseeable future. So every choice, big and small, made by this administration in the midst of this war comes with a cost. Have those costs registered with Hegseth's boss, the commander-in-chief, though. Trump hasn't been as eager as usual to perform for reporters and the cameras in recent weeks, and perhaps that's because he gets questions about this war anytime he gets in front of a mic. Remember, people around him say that he's been getting bored with this war that he started. Earlier this week, he was telling Axios that he's, quote, low-keying it. But today on the tarmac, Trump stopped in front of the cameras to talk up the economy, and he could not avoid a reporter's questions about the USS Lincoln.
A lot of things that are happening. A lot of good things. The economy is doing unbelievably. Standpoint of Wall Street, we have a record stock market. 401ks instead of new records. Why don't you like it? You know, that ship is moving. That ship is moving right now. Very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship. Oh, no. Got here really long enough. Thank you.
You can't control what you can't see. With near real-time cash visibility and forecasting, JP Morgan delivers the clarity you need.
This is Navy's fault.
JP Morgan.
Hey, man.
If you got hit, even as a passenger or in an Uber, you need to try this.
Not nearly long enough, says the president. Hegseth, indicating a military blockade of Iranian ports could go on indefinitely. The thing is, ships require maintenance. Munitions get depleted and destroyed. Sailors, human beings, need to go home. So you have to ask, does this president care about the costs? Or does he only care about getting something that resembles a win, or at least the fantasy version of a win that exists in his mind, which he shared on stage, by the way, at a political rally in Long Island today.
Nassau.
And after we finish defeating
Nassau Millennium.
which is being very
Nassau County, brother. Long Island, stand up.
pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
Pretty soon, until then, whatever that is, well,
Did y'all hear what this nigga just said? Soon we're gonna be declaring the Strait of Hormuz United States territory. What do that mean for the sellers who toilets don't work? He said, soon we're going to be calling Hormuz United States territory. My question is, what do that mean for the people who serve for the water not to be contaminated? What does that mean? Oh, I'm telling you what it means. They're, the lady just said they're gonna be out there indefinitely, bro. You know what that means?
And after we finish defeating Iran, which is being very badly defeated, pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
Pretty soon. Until then, whatever that is, well, Trump has other priorities for now. Today, his Solicitor General made an emergency plea to the Supreme Court.
And after we finish,
on board the USS Lincoln. That's right now. Very shortly, and big results with another very similar thing. On to law, wait for it. Not nearly long enough. Thank you.
Not nearly long enough, says the president. Hegseth, indicating a military blockade of Iranian ports could go on indefinitely. The thing is, ships
You heard that, Dave? Indefinitely, nigga.
require maintenance.
Very similar thing.
Indefinitely.
Not nearly long enough. Thank you.
Not nearly long enough, says the president. Hegseth, indicating a military blockade of Iranian ports could go on indefinitely. The thing is, ships require maintenance. Munitions get depleted and destroyed. Sailors, human beings, need to go home. So you have to ask, does this president care about the costs? Or does he only care about getting something that resembles a win, or at least the fantasy version of a win that exists in his mind, which he shared on stage, by the way, at a political rally in Long Island today.
and after we finish defeating Iran, which is being very badly defeated, pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
Pretty soon. Until then, whatever that is, well, Trump has other priorities for now. Today, his Solicitor General made an emergency plea to the Supreme Court to let the Trump ballroom construction move forward in a filing that described the structure as
Wow.
integrated military complex.
Wow. I forgot. They building all these millions of dollars in the ballroom, but the ballroom is built like a military complex. I'm telling you, man, there's some shit going on. There's some shit that's about to go down. This nigga completely tore down the West Wing to put a ballroom. They building it like a military facility. Wow, bro. They got speaking. Nah, I know, bro. Oh, some oil is ridiculous. Hey, man, it ain't just oil, man. That's definitely a major play. But we want to be able to control the whole world's trade, bro. We want to be dominant globally by actually controlling. Allegedly, man, they're putting everything in play for the New World Order to pop off, bro. They can't put the New World Order into play like that until they control the world economy. Literally. So controlling the world economy also means getting a firm grip on natural resources, which include oil. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, the oil is major, but there's more at play than just oil. But there's other things that dominate global trade outside of just energy. Energy is up there, but you got shit like the tech world. You got shit like arms dealers. You see what I'm saying? They don't care about us. That's what Michael Jackson said. Ain't that what Michael Jackson said? All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. That's what Michael Jackson said, man. That's what he said. hmm Man, it's going to be a wild ride. Hell yeah, it's going to be a wild ride. But think about them sellers, bro. The toilets don't work, bro. Think about them sellers, man, who their food is contaminated and the shower got mold in it and shit like that. Think about the sailors who writing to their wife say, man, I'm thinking this boat getting to me, man. I might well kill myself. Think about the one person who already did kill themselves. Think about the other 3 or 4 sailors. They saying 7. They got 7 suicidal notes. They got the wives of these sailors want to do wellness checks, bro. Yeah. Shit real. Shit real.
Vitally required by national security. It also cited a Trump post.
Why do people get fighting back overseas? It's about controlling the major resources of the world. You know it, brother. Why do countries fighting them back against the U.S.? Because the U.S., bro, the U.S. globally ain't looking so good right now, fam. It ain't looking so good, bro. It's not. It is not. Hey, y'all. I'm back.
Promising his ballroom would be, quote, one of the most beautiful of its kind anywhere in the country. More vital than, say, making sure the crew of the Abraham Lincoln has food and clean living quarters? Trump may not show much interest in the plight of his service members, but at some point, something has got to give. Because remember, the Iran war is only part of a much bigger picture. The Trump administration is stretching the American military across the globe, asking them to do more, for longer, in more places, with fewer rules and constraints, with no need often for justification, from striking boats in the Caribbean and the Pacific to invading a sovereign country and kidnapping their president, all to dominate this hemisphere. Earlier this week, the State Department posted a 5-minute long video praising the Monroe Doctrine with the tagline, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. And the next day, Hegseth was publicly planning joint strikes on armed groups in Colombia.
Find a person's location by their phone number. For example, if your brother is late coming home, you just need to enter his phone number and see his movements on a map. Or if someone has gone missing, simply enter their phone number to determine.
When trouble happens, like in Colombia or Venezuela, we're the first ones to show up. We're going to bring those beautiful Chinooks and C-17s chock full of experts and supplies. And that's what we've done in Colombia, and that's what we've done in Venezuela. But Colombia's going to be an incredible partner.
There is a lot going on here. But perhaps this is what it looks and sounds like when your military is materially drained, but your leadership is completely morally unconstrained. And all the usual limiting mechanisms, like your members of Congress, international law, they're at best an afterthought and aside as Trump
Yo, Black Couch, what's up, man? What's going on, bro? And man, shouts out to Black Couch, man. Hey, listen, man. I don't know if you know about the what's going on with the Navy, man. And shout out to all the people who serve, man. The USS Abraham Lincoln, man. Yo, they don't have the soldiers committing suicide, bro. You hear me, Black Couch? Black Couch. There are soldiers that are committing suicide on the USS Lincoln, brother, because they starving to death, bro. Because the food is contaminated, bro. Not only is the food contaminated, bro, they're around feces and urine, man, because the damn toilets are out of order, bro. So the toilets don't work. Hell yeah, bro. And they jumping off the boat, man. They writing to their families, man, saying this boat getting to me, Black Couch. The boat getting to me, man. I can't take life no more, man. They jumping off like that man on the Titanic, bro. Like, I definitely don't see this getting. I see this getting worse before it get better. Man. I ain't never heard no shit like this where the damn military got to feed the soldiers rations because it ain't enough food, bro. Cause all the food fucked up. When I every time I hear that word rations, bro, I was like, man, god damn. You know how bad off you gotta be to survive off of rations. And to me, it's astronomical when you're asking somebody to still be able to perform your duties at the best of their ability, at the best of your ability, and you can't even have a decent meal. Shit. Okay. They can't even use the bathroom. Can you eat no food because the food contained is messed up? They're suffering. Hell yeah, they suffering, bro. Shit fucked up.
Ahead on a range of pursuits from the Persian Gulf to the Panama Canal and maybe soon Cuba. This administration is acting as though American military prowess has no physical or legal limits, even though our military, and more importantly, the people who comprise it, absolutely do. David Shulkin, the physician, who served as Secretary of Veteran Affairs in the first Trump administration and is Undersecretary of Veterans Affairs for Health under President Obama. And he joins us now. Mr. Secretary, it's good to see you this evening. I want to begin with your broad take on what is happening to the thousands of service members aboard the USS Lincoln right now.
Well, look, it's very difficult to watch this, and we all need to take this seriously. The conditions in which our men and women are serving not only on the U.S. Abraham Lincoln, 5,000 sailors, but frankly, 50,000 of our military are deployed in the
5,000 sailors, bro. 5,000 sailors. 5,000 sailors. I rewind it back.
Happening to the thousands of service members aboard the USS Lincoln right now.
Well, look, it's very difficult to watch this, and we all need to take this seriously. The conditions in which our men and women are serving not only on the U.S. Abraham Lincoln, 5,000 sailors, but frankly, 50,000 of our military are deployed in the contact zones of the conflict that's in the Middle East. All of them are experiencing a new type of warfare, the warfare of missiles and of drones, and that really is taking a toll on our military members, and these prolonged deployments are of significant concern. So we need to take this seriously. We need to get in there and make an assessment. And for those that are suffering, we need to be able to get them out of that area and get the help that they need. But action is definitely required. We also, frankly, seen this before in the Iraq and Afghanistan war. We know that 15 to 25
the final war will be fought with sticks and stones if Jesus come back. Yeah, bro, because the guns ain't gonna work no more. See, this is what they don't know. They put this shit in the movie Demolition Man overseas. They put the shit in Demolition Man. And what I always say, y'all, yo, Hollywood is like a government agency, like the CIA or FBI. You know, we always say that. So they got to tell us by putting this shit in the movie. But if you remember Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes and what's the nigga that played Rocky? Sylvester Stallone. If you remember that movie, in the future, because that's where it take place, both of them were frozen. And they unthawed them in the future. Yo, they could not use handguns because the machines didn't work. Violence, like the guns didn't work. You couldn't even like, and when I say guns didn't work, meaning one dude that ran the whole town in Demolition Man, he had MK mind control over every person that was a part of that shit. So it wasn't that you couldn't use the gun. Is that the consciousness of even knowing what a gun was capable of was wiped from the people's memory. So they would have shit like guns and like in representation of the past through display, like museums. Like in the movie, they had a whole goddamn time capsule in different phases of history through the fight scene in the museum. You see what I'm saying? But I said all in essence, man. The USS Abraham Lincoln got 5,000 people on that damn boat. That's a lot of people. Family, that's a lot of people, bro. That's a lot of people to be contemplating suicide, bro. Terminator, bro. Damn right. The Rise of the Machine. Or Skynet. Skynet, bro. Living overseas. The people in the area, no, the people in the sewers could use guns if they were available. The people in the sewers could use the gun. Yeah. Yeah, bro. You talking about Demolition Man, the people in the sewers. The people in the sewer could use guns if they were available. Thank you. And the reason why they was in the sewer, my guess is because they ain't taking the mark of the beast. They rejected it. And the Bible in Revelations 4:6 tells you that you're going to have people who accept the mark of the beast, and the people who don't accept the mark of the beast aren't going to be able to shop or do anything or get property, or you're going to have to go on the ground. And everything's going to be so highly surveillance. This is all in Demolition Man, the people who lived in the sewer. And that's what I was telling people. That's the city of Zion. Demolition Man represented the city of Zion, an underground city where people are not conformed to the next wave of the future, which is the mark. I'm telling you, we are getting to that point where they're gonna want to monitor us to the point where we're gonna have to, hey, get a plan. So, but they gotta give it to us where we gonna have to have a choice. You see what I'm saying? They're not gonna set it up in a way where they're gonna force it because they could seem a little barbaric. But they always presented things like we should want it. They put why we should want it in our subconscious. Fam, that's a lot of shit. Too many people for the toilets. And I'm telling you, Brillo, I'm telling you, bro, 5,000 people. 5,000 people, bro. You telling me the toilets don't work, Dolo? Hey, Dolo, hey, bro, that shit hit, bro. That shit hit. That shit hit, bro. 5,000 people on one boat. And you mean to tell me the damn toilets don't work, bro? Hey, Dolo, you got suicidal notes galore. You got suicidal notes galore, fam. You already got a body. So imagine what, you know they always lie about the numbers and the stats. So imagine how many people it really is going through this, bro, on that boat. And they can't come back home. They can't come back home. The fall of Zion was on in the Matrix. That's right, overseas. That's it. But here's the thing. You let the enemy infiltrate Zion. See what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I hope everybody good, man. I hope I'm gonna let my man finish rocking for a little bit.
Percent of those who served in those conflict areas come back and eventually will experience a behavioral health issue, and some of them extremely serious, leading to people taking their own lives.
So, what do you imagine the family members, the loved ones of these service members feel and hear when the president says something standing on that tarmac, like he did earlier today, saying that this deployment was not nearly long enough?
Yeah, when I listen to the family members and we hear from them, I really take that seriously. One of the things that you have to understand when a son or daughter, husband, wife, brother, sister are serving, it's really that whole family that's serving. And this type of concern for the family member is with people all day long. And I have spent lots of time with these family members. These are patriotic families that want to support their service member who is volunteering and sacrificing for the country, but they want to see them being safe and they don't want to see them suffering. So I think that hearing from these family members that are generally among the most supportive and patriotic of our missions, particularly overseas, when we hear them showing this type of concern, we need to take that seriously.
I want you to take a look.
Bingo. So I think he made a great point. It's like, yo, when you have family members, especially direct family members that's serving, bro, it ain't just them. It's like you serving along with them because of the emotional investment, emotional ties y'all got. You know what I mean?
listen to a White House spokesperson who spoke on Fox earlier about all this because of the way in which this administration, chiefly the president himself and Hegseth, seem to just be brushing off, even at times outright denying what service members are coming forward and telling the press. Take a listen to this.
But if you've been in a car accident, don't call an attorney. Use this AI app instead. That's what I did, and that's how.
Is the president concerned that these sailors and these ships are staying at sea far longer than they normally do?
Well, John, I think this president cares about our United States military service members, our troops, more than everybody. Remember Joe Biden, who unfortunately shifted the focus on our away from our warfighters and onto these woke DEI policies. So you hear the spokesperson there going back to the Biden administration, bringing up the DEI, which I don't think has anything to do with what's unfolding here and the needs of the service members and their families aboard this ship right now. Does this administration, does the Pentagon owe people a more direct answer about what they're going to do for them?
Yeah. Well, I've had the privilege of talking directly to President Trump, to President Biden, to President Obama, and other presidents who have been commander-in-chief. And I have to tell you, I think almost to every single one of them does honor and respect and know the sacrifice of our men and women. But I do think that the White House needs to acknowledge the conditions and that we can be doing more to support our sailors and those who are in this conflict zone. And I think we heard that from the Secretary of the Navy, who came out and acknowledged some of the shortcomings and acknowledged that we need to be doing more. They are going to be sending more resilience counselors. They are sending a new aircraft carrier to try to relieve the U.S. Abraham Lincoln. And so it.
Yeah, and that new is loosely, bro. You talking about new. You ain't saying nothing new, bro. You ain't saying nothing.
It's important to be able to make sure that you're listening and hearing from those that are serving and making sure that you're acknowledging and acting in order to respond to what is a pretty serious situation.
Yeah, it's an incredibly serious situation. And I want to push on one thing there. I understand you've spoken to all of these presidents and, Americans across the board, across the political spectrum have immense respect for the sacrifice that service members and their family members make. But I think people are wondering right now about this administration, just how seriously they do see that sacrifice when we've seen throughout the week them being unwilling to grapple with the gravity here, at times denying claims that service members were even attempting to jump overboard, something that numerous news outlets, including us here at MS Now, we've been able to talk to people and confirm that these mental health crises are real. And so I guess when you see this administration and their actions in recent days, do you get the sense that they just don't actually know the facts? They don't know the truth, and that's why they're having trouble acknowledging it? Or is there some sense in which they don't care?
Yeah, I do think that this administration recognizes the seriousness, particularly of behavioral health issues, but I think that they're struggling with trying to acknowledge that publicly and wanting to show strength, especially to our enemies.
And that's what it's all about. Public perception. Bro, we don't have the capability of winning this war. Listen to me. There is a reason why we're doing what we're doing. Okay. But actually obtaining the Strait of Bermuda as American territory is gonna always guarantee us conflict with them. It's never gonna stop. So like the lady said earlier, essentially we are headed toward a war that's not, there ain't no time limit or how long this shit gonna last, y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna drop. shed a little bit of perspective of what's going on, man, within our government, man, and our service members, man. Shout out, Leo. This shit is crazy. Yeah. Yo. Shit crazy. Shit. Y'all know that WNBA shit going crazy with that transgender shit too. That shit going crazy. And that shit unfold, we'll talk about that. And then also Monday, next Monday, the KPD trial, that shit kicked off. They already finished picking all the jury, I think. So go back and
President Donald Trump is ordering the Navy to go back to steam-powered catapults for future aircraft carriers. The system would replace the newer electromagnetic technology used to launch fighter jets. The change will start with the USS Doris Miller, the fourth Ford-class carrier. The switch could cost billions of dollars and require more sailors to operate. The company that makes the current system warns changing course now could also cause construction delays. President Donald Trump is ordering the Navy to go.
damn, bro. What's up with y'all? How y'all?
President Trump is asking the Supreme Court to step in and help in his fight to let construction continue on the White House ballroom. Today, the president filed an emergency request asking justices to allow the $400 million project to take place. You'll recall last week, lower courts ruled that the president needs congressional approval for the project, and all above-ground work has been stopped. President Trump is asking the Supreme Court to step in and help in
Tell you, man, that nigga building a ballroom, but the way that bitch look, bro, it looked like the missing section to the Pentagon. You know, 9/11, you know, that allegedly the damn plane, well, nah, I seen the other plane hit the building, but the Pentagon was hit by an airplane too, and they took out a wall. I think they know that's something significant. Sure. Yeah, y'all all right? Everybody good? It's all right. It's all right. Ooh, baby. It's all right.
Get the new Pixel 11 Pro on us, plus $10 per month off your phone plan for 2 years. Employment record of nearly 11 months before a fire that happened on board forced it back to port for repairs. For those aboard ships remaining in the Middle East, the vice president has underlined what he says the administration's current objectives are.
I know that oil is down today, and it's way down from the highs in the early days of the conflict. That's goal number one. Keep oil and gas cheap for Americans all over our country. And then obviously goal number two is ensure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. I feel confident or accomplishing both of those goals. But it's inherently an unpredictable thing because the Iranians themselves are unpredictable and they sometimes don't honor the commitments they've made to us.
Of course, what they are doing to get goal number 2 there is what is affecting goal number 1, he says, about keeping gas prices low for Americans here at home. The vice president there did not make any mention of other goals that have been stated, like eliminating Iran's missile program, making sure that it doesn't threaten its neighbors, or even George Washington Carrier Group is headed to the Middle East to replace the Lincoln. It's unclear tonight how long that deployment could last. Just today, Secretary Hegseth said the Navy could maintain its blockade of Iranian ports, quote, indefinitely, a timeline that would seem to be very different than this.
The media here, and not all of it, but much of it, wants you to think, just 19 days into this conflict, that we're somehow spinning toward an endless abyss, or a forever war, or a quagmire. Nothing could be further from the truth. So this talk about endless wars or forever wars, President points out rightfully what this town tolerated in Iraq and Afghanistan and Vietnam. That is not this. Want to talk about a forever war? For 2 months, this president has stared them down. He's going to get a better deal than anyone ever has and ensure that Iran never had a nuclear weapon.
My sources tonight are CNN's anchor and chief investigative correspondent, Pamela Brown, the national security correspondent for the Wall Street Journal, and Alex Ward, and as well as our CNN global affairs analyst, Kareem Sadjapur. And Pam, I want to start with you because you actually spent time on board the USS Lincoln recently. What was it like in your interactions with the servicemen and women that you met on board?
Well, Caitlin, the experience of around 5,000 people on one ship out at sea for so long, of course, is not going to be the same for everyone. But my reporting indicates it's hardest on the younger enlisted sailors who don't go out on the flight deck and are largely kept indoors and doing repetitive work in tight quarters, like mopping floors day in, day out, and getting food that is subpar, not knowing when they'll be home. Now, for context, Caitlin, nearly half of the ship is under the age of 25, and it's a very experience for the enlisted sailors versus the officers aboard.
Yeah, so
At one
20
point, the sailors had to ration food because of
rations! Rations again! Rations! Oh! Rations! I told y'all what rations mean, bruh. That's half of what a portion is. Bro, you can starve off of rations, bruh. Oh, shit.
Their grit and resilience, Caitlin, are surely being tested after so many months at sea without regular port visits. Here's what one sailor, Randall Stone, told me.
Morale's low because we haven't hit a port in 7 months. I mean, I got stepped off the ship in the year 2026. I haven't been off the ship. I haven't touched land.
So this is all causing wear and tear, as you can imagine. I've spoken to several family members today of sailors aboard, and they had varying degrees of concern about the conditions and length of the deployment. One father said, has the ship been out there for so long? Why hasn't there been a more rotation with these ships? 2 other family members said they're really worried about the mental health, hygiene, and morale, with one telling me, quote, we're all a nervous wreck, after her nephew told his family back in May when the deadline was extended for that ship that he wasn't doing well. And then she saw a picture of him. He had lost a lot of weight in pictures.
Wow.
The phone with a Navy sailor who's not on that ship just before the show, Caitlin, who said her friends are really struggling aboard right now. So it's really mixed depending on who you talk to. But bottom line, they all want their loved ones home.
Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable to hear.
So out of 5,000 people on that ship, 2,500 of them are under the age of 25 years old. Damn. It's crazy. Dang. But look, man, that's unfortunate, man. That's unfortunate. Man. Man, that's crazy. Can you do? What can you do? Man, I appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. I really do. Man, I had a long day today, man. I had to do some yard work. So that's why I'm out here fighting sleep right now, but I just kind of got hip to what was going on. OC say, I will have bucket toss and racing over. Hell yeah, bro. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, but that's a lot of people, though. You had them buckets in them close quarters, bro. You can't bump into nothing. Can't have no accidents. It ain't if everybody got a bucket, you know what I'm saying? 5,000 buckets. A lot of buckets. Yeah, man. Yeah. Smells. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, man, I really, really appreciate everybody for pulling up. I am fighting sleep, y'all. Sleep. Or else when we out, I'm still not getting it. It's been raining so much, and I procrastinated on doing it. I paying for it now. But yo, we can listen to a little bit of more of this bullshit that's going on.
Yeah, and so the data points they look at, one is Pam beautifully reported, very low morale among American forces, low munitions in American military, the diminished popularity of this war, politicians, anti-war politicians, anti-Israel politicians being elected in primary elections. I think all these data points embolden the Iranian regime, and it in some ways leads them to overplay their hand because I believe they think they're much stronger than they actually are.
Yeah, and when it comes to how they monitor this, Alex, you heard the vice president there in that interview today talking about this, talking about preventing Iran from getting a nuclear weapon is the second priority. He was saying the first one was keeping prices low for Americans here at home for oil, for gas. I wonder what that tells you in terms of the messaging from the administration and where they think this war is headed.
Well, today was a pretty bad day for Iran messaging for the administration, right? Actually, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also said that the U.S. could have the blockade going indefinitely, right? And then, as you noted, the vice president said it was the
indefinitely, man. Indefinitely. Indefinitely meaning they're gonna always be in conflict. They're talking about trying to make this shit a territory. But it's gonna always be under constant, man, that shit crazy.
You haven't seen the sun in days. So at this point, it'd be easier to just fly to it. Come on, Booker. It's easy. Okay, done. Okay, done. Yeah.
This here's the last time I'm saying it, so y'all better pay attention.
Man, it won't
start bringing in cash, and all it takes is a Wi-Fi connection and 3 clicks. No complicated setups, no special skills. Just a quick trick most folks.
Hegseth saying there could be an indefinite blockade with him testifying it's not a forever war. It's not like these other conflicts that Americans are all too familiar with. And what we've heard, not just from him, but also from the vice president and other senior officials.
You know, Caitlin, this war at the moment is not a test of strength. Obviously, America is significantly stronger than the Islamic Republic of Iran, but it's a test of will and a test of resolve. And at the moment, I don't see signs that this is a regime preparing to compromise. I think they're committed to revenge.
They're committed, meaning they know that's the best. They're fighting. The war. We're playing right into their hands, y'all. We did not go into this and to win no damn war. This is just the beginning. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? If you don't hear anything else that I say, this might be the most important thing I say. This might be the most important thing I say out of the whole night. This is only the beginning. This is the number one way in which you fight a war. You take away supplies. And then everything else is going to fall right underneath. They're going to wait us out. Once they're limited on supplies, it's a wrap. You already got them boys contemplating suicide. It's over. The war is over. Loud and clear. You're right, Dolo. My nigga. That's the most important thing I can say to y'all tonight. That this thing is not over. It's only the beginning, and it's going to get worse. This is not going to be the first ship. It's going to be more. And that's when you're going to start to see people like boycotting the military. Like, you're going to see conflict within the military unfold in real time. And this is what's going to spark the whole Civil War thing. I'm giving you this shit fresh off the press. That's how it's going to go down now. Tell him. Donald Trump is using language like indefinitely. Indefinitely. And then you got reports of people don't even know why they out there and feel like they committing war crimes, man. Kizzy, sometimes it's just over, bro. Everything ends, nothing lasts forever. Yeah, I agree with that. It's over. I'm glad you said that. It is over. It's the beginning of the end. And that's a great message there. You know what I mean? Kind of let that linger, man. Cause I'm trying to hang out here as long as I can, man, until I completely cannot take it no more. I gotta go to sleep. So I'm gonna try to hang it. But I feel like this is such an interesting topic, and it's just unfortunate, man, that we're not shedding more light on it. You know what I'm saying? Being that these are people who served our country and put their life on the line. They can't even put their life on the line because they want to end their own life. They don't have no life to put on the line because they ended it before they can end it, get in any type of conflict, war. They gotta worry about them having the mentality and having the sanity of not killing their own self by jumping off the boat. So many letters from wives. Telling you, shit real. And they using language like indefinite, man.
There's families last week to hear their concerns directly. In a statement to CNN, the Navy said, quote, "We have not observed an increase in suicidal ideations or attempts aboard the ship. We take every service member's well-being seriously and have religious, medical, and mental health professionals available to assess and address concerns as they arise. The Navy says the carrier has access to counselors, chaplains, medical professionals, and even a therapy dog I met named Captain Fathom. About 5,000 sailors and Marines on board, the USS Lincoln has set a record at sea with the most consecutive days without regular port visits. The experience is very different for the enlisted sailors versus the officers on board, and nearly 50% of those on board are mid-20s and younger. Senator Richard Blumenthal is one of several lawmakers demanding answers about conditions aboard this aircraft carrier. An official told me that the USS George Washington is on its way to relieve the USS Abraham Lincoln, though couldn't provide specific timelines for when the rotation happens.
And we're also, because we haven't hit a port in about 7 months. I mean, I
do say he ain't hit a port in 7 months. Lots of mostly men are thinking about ending themselves. That's a real thing. Hell yeah, bro. Because, man, like, and I open up with this stat, over 90% of pharmaceuticals that's prescribed that are in pill form are some type of mental health, mental health stimulant. So pretty much most of the medicine that's prescribed got to do with mental health. So that's crazy, bro. Like you said, man, this shit over. Because this shit by design. Shit by design, man. Yo, shit by design. Real shit.
Give me a sense of long deployments and the consequences in a situation like this.
Certainly. So I think a couple of things I'd say, Audie. One, it is important to differentiate between fatigue, morale, and readiness. They are separate but related. And I've been part of very lengthy, very intense deployments where we were frankly exhausted. Also is for morale, but those are different. And I think for the Lincoln in particular, your question about the length of deployments, there's a difference between deploying for a 9-month tour that you're told will be 9 months and deploying for a 5
Yo, they gotta take this shit in rations, bro. Look at this shit.
And he saw
Rations.
we went from 12
They starving. Ain't no food on that motherfucker.
announced once troops.
Oh no.
This morning, there is growing concern for the crew of the USS Abraham Lincoln as the Iran war drags on. Sources telling CNN a sailor jumped overboard earlier this month. Now, that sailor was rescued, but the account comes amid reports of similar attempts by multiple crew members. The carrier has been deployed now for more than 250 days. It has not made a port call in over 200 days, which one Democratic lawmaker calls a modern-day record. And Democrats are now demanding answers, citing reports of food shortages on board, as well as contaminated water, plumbing issues, in addition to those concerns about the crew's mental health. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is pushing back.
That's completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can.
It's sad, bro. It's a sad day, man.
I have more respect and gratitude for those sailors than anybody.
So the carrier USS George Washington is now headed to the Middle East to relieve the Lincoln. One official telling CNN that swap had been planned in advance, but still a lot of questions this morning. CNN's Brian Todd is with me now. So in terms of what's happening on board the USS Lincoln, Brian, what do we know this morning?
Well, Erica, we do have new reporting from our colleagues Pamela Brown and Ross Atkin. They cite 3 U.S. officials saying a sailor on board the aircraft carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln, went overboard earlier this month. 2 of the officials tell CNN that sailor was quickly rescued, was medically evaluated, treated, then transferred off the ship for follow-on care. One official said the sailor went overboard wearing a life vest and was not injured. The official added that the Navy considered the incident a mental health episode. Now, this incident, which had not been previously reported, adds to the growing concerns about the crew of the USS Lincoln. The news outlets Stars and Stripes and the Navy Times reported this week that there had been multiple attempts by crew members on the Lincoln to jump overboard. Those outlets cited interviews with sailors and families of those on board who described the impacts of a very lengthy deployment. Now, according to Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal, who sits on the Armed Services Committee, the Lincoln has not made a port call in more than 200 days. That's about 6.5 months. Now, just last month, Pamela Brown was reporting on board the Lincoln. She spoke with Airman Randall Stone about the low morale of the ship.
Why is morale low?
That's a really simple answer. Morale's low because we haven't hit a port in about 7 months. I mean, I haven't stepped off the ship in 2026. I haven't been off the ship. I haven't touched anything.
Even when we went, there's been a couple quick port stops and you weren't able to get off.
No, the last time I was off the ship on dry land would have been Guam in December. So 2026, unfortunately, I was live risk in Tuku. So that was off the table for me. So it's hard, it's hard in your mental state, being out to sea for 8 months without being on dry land. It takes a toll on you.
Now, in a statement to CNN, the U.S. Navy said, quote, "We have not observed an increase in suicidal ideations or aboard the ship. We take every service member's well-being seriously and have religious, medical, and mental health professionals available to assess and address concerns as they arise," end quote. One U.S. official told CNN the Navy's internal tracking of reports of suicidal ideation on the USS Lincoln had actually gone down in recent months. Erica?
Wow.
There are growing questions this morning about conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln, deployed now for more than 250 days. That ship has also now gone without a port call in over 200 days. Sources tell CNN a sailor jumped overboard this month. That sailor was rescued, but the account comes amid reports of similar attempts by multiple crew members. There have also
multiple attempts, y'all.
Water, plumbing issues as well. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth calls the reports, quote, completely misrepresented. Joining me now, CNN political and global affairs commentator Sabrina Singh, of course, former Deputy Press Secretary at the Pentagon. You've actually embarked on this ship, on the USS Lincoln. You know it firsthand. We are hearing the pushback, Sabrina, from Secretary Hegseth. He pushed back in a similar way over the spring about reports of food shortages, which he called fake news at the time. This is not an isolated incident, though. You have the Navy Times, the Stars and Stripes reporting 200 family members of Lincoln crew members were raising concerns just last week about mental health issues, safety conditions as well. Raising those concerns to the acting Secretary of the Navy and other senior officials. What do you make of all of this?
Yeah, well, when I was at the Pentagon in 2024, I was lucky enough to do an embark on the USS Lincoln. And so seeing firsthand some of the quarters that our sailors and Marines live in, I mean, they are very, very narrow, 3 or 4 bunk beds stacked up. You're sharing, the showers and stalls. And then also you have a crew boss that has to feed, thousands of sailors and Marines every single day, kind of at all hours. The living conditions are tight. And so for the Secretary of Defense and the acting Chief Naval Officer downplaying the experiences of our sailors and Marines, I mean, you can't deny that these people are going through something that is really hard. I mean, not having a port call, not seeing land, not being able to step on land for over 200 days, being at sea for over 250 days. I think Pamela Brown even interviewed a sailor that said, he hasn't seen land all of 2026. That is going to take a toll on your mental health. And it's also going to impact just your communication with your family. Internet access is very limited. You can't just pull out your iPhone and call your wife or call your kids. It is very, very limited. So it's hard.
It's a good point. And Pamela Brown, when she was speaking with those sailors, that was a month ago when she was on board the ship. And they were already, they were raising those concerns to her then. And this is not, I just want to be clear, these are not sailors complaining necessarily. It is well documented that even with a ton of preparation and knowing that your deployment could be extended, this does take an incredible toll on those on board. In addition to the fact that there are other reports about, food issues, there are water issues. Does it surprise you at all that we are still hearing these reports, given how long we've been talking about them at this point?
It doesn't. I mean, a carrier, an aircraft carrier like the Lincoln also has to go through regular maintenance to address some of these problems. And even during the Biden administration, we did extend to carrier strike groups in the region because we needed to protect Israel or defend our assets in the Red Sea. But I think what the difference here is that the extension of the USS Lincoln since the beginning of this year, it seems never ending. The sailors and Marines do not know when they will be able to go home. And I think that is
Inevitable,
sort of the
bro.
anxiety that, like you said, Eric,
It ain't no time, bro.
the job.
It's a wrap.
But I think when you have
They don't know when they going home because they don't even know why the fuck they out there.
to your family, that all is an added stress and it's never ending. And so that's why people
Never ending.
There are two other points I want to get you on, if I could quickly before we run out of time.
It's a wrap.
There is an extended deployment. That means some regular scheduled maintenance is potentially not happening. That could further impact the readiness writ large for the U.S. military.
Absolutely. Aircraft carriers have a maintenance schedule that's planned a few years out. So whenever you have delays, those shipyards are going to be impacted, and that those delays, ricochet down through the force. So this does impact military readiness. Our Navy will do what it needs to protect our forces and defend our allies, but it still has an impact, and you're seeing it now.
I also wanted to ask you, the Washington Post is reporting that the U.S. military has now lost roughly 25% of its Reaper drones. So these are massive. They cost, I think, about $50 million a piece. They take a couple of years to build, but they've been used heavily around the Strait of Hormuz. They're relatively easy targets, though, when it comes to Iran and its proxy groups.
I'm not blowing smoke when I say without PCCA, we would not have experienced.
To help with hostage recovery and rescue. We also used it in our fight against the Houthis. And when the Houthis
Hey, yo. That just unacceptable. No food, bro. No toilets don't work. None of that shit, bro. That shit gone, bro. That shit fucked up. So yeah, man. I just wanted to shed some light on what's going on with this country, bro. Y'all look up that shit amongst yourself, man. Type that shit in, dog. The USS Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, man. Type that shit in and check it out, yo. It'll blow your mind. So once again, there are 5,000 sailors that are on the USS Abraham Lincoln. They are starving. They are writing suicidal notes. They have multiple suicide attempts. The water is contaminated. The showers have mold and contaminated. The food is contaminated. The toilets don't work. And they short of supplies. And if you don't remember nothing else, remember that I said this. This is only the beginning, and this is the war that Iran has planned. This is how you fight a war strategic. Dante said it. This is strategic. They are waiting them out so they can get low on supplies. You weaken the army before you fight it. But it's all designed. Because you got to think about the Zionists, Christians. And what do they have to benefit from this? Okay? Anyway, man, I love y'all very much, man. Thank y'all so much for pulling up on me. I'm fighting sleep. So I'm going to try to catch me some Z's, man. And, catch the replay, man. Let's catch the replay. And we're going to figure out, we'll try for one last time. Let's see. Because they won't let me. They were saying YouTube was rejecting my stuff. So I couldn't invite nobody, see? YouTube rejected your comment. This is fairly common when sharing a link. You see what I'm saying? So it's great. Anyway, on that note, I love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all so much for pulling up, man. Y'all been amazing as always. Everybody that came through, yo, Sean, Lauren, uh, shit, 18, Kids Music, appreciate you, Dolo, Overseas, yo, thank you, man. Everybody, Dante, of course, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Black Couch, man, I appreciate you, man. Dot, obviously, my boy, appreciate you, fam. Everybody that came through, thank you. Thank you. And yo, look that shit up for yourself. USS Abraham Lincoln. Look at what's been going on. That's all you got to type in. Just type in that little part. You good. Everything else will come up. My boy Real. Yes, sir. My boy Real. I can't forget you, bro. And remember, bro, I got a wrench. Got a wrench with your name on it, bro. So, got a wrench with your name on it, bro. I'm going to go live on the other jump and edit it up there so he can be wrenched up, man, with the rest of the game. So I'm gonna keep drilling it, bro. USS Abraham Lincoln. Type that shit in the search engine. USS Abraham Lincoln. And go from there. Yo, don't nobody put it down like how we put it down, man. We building a community of awareness where everybody is cool, everybody's solid, man. Everybody all about the information. That's what everybody about, man. So yeah, all about the information. Ain't nobody this is not popular to talk about. But it damn sure need to be have some light shed upon it. Shine a light on it. Shine a light on it. Oh. So on that note, man, I'm out. Y'all already down. Y'all be cool. Y'all be cool. Out. Again, one last time. This war is not over. They're telling you this is inevitable. It's not there. It ain't no ceiling. It ain't no timeline. And Iran is fighting this war to deplete America of their resources. So the U.S. said this is strategic. This is not by accident. This is a part of the war. This is a part of the plan. Starve their ass out. Straight up. Iran's plan the whole time was to wait till they deplete themselves. And then you're gonna wait, then you're gonna see Iran attack. Tell you. This shit by design, bro. Shit by design. Yeah. I appreciate all y'all.
because the Iranians themselves were I mean, sometimes the it's they made to us.
Of course, what they are doing to get goal number 2 there is what is affecting goal number 1, he says, about keeping gas prices low for Americans here at home. The vice president there did not make any mention of other goals that have been stated, like eliminating Iran's missile program, making sure that it doesn't threaten its neighbors, or even George Washington Carrier Group is headed to the Middle East to replace the Lincoln.
Have you or a loved one been injured by stickers?
Words, quote, indefinitely. A timeline that would seem to be very different than this.
The media here, not all of it, but much of it, wants you to think, just 19 days into this conflict, that we're somehow spinning toward an endless abyss, or a forever war, or a quagmire. Nothing could be further from the truth.
That's a lying bitch. And on that note, I'm out. Again, this war is fought to take away and deplete the supplies of our Navy, period. And whoever else we want to send over there. We are in foreign territory. We cannot take that. That is so unrealistic what they're trying to sell us. So look it up. USS Abraham Lincoln, y'all. The motherfuckers is writing suicide notes, trying to kill each other, kill themselves. They gotta eat out of rations. They gotta eat rations, bro. Starving to death. Writing notes talking about, I think the boat getting to them. Dang. And Donald Trump said, no, that's further from the truth. Talking about the war, what he saying? People saying the war is an abyss, an endless pit. Yeah. But we'll see.
Said morale was low and they wanted to get out. They ultimately understood they had to complete their duties each day as part of the larger mission, but their grit and resilience, Caitlin, are surely being tested after so many months at sea without regular port visits. Here's what one sailor, Randall Stone, told me.
Morale's lower because we haven't hit a port in 7 months. I mean, I haven't stepped off the ship, and in the year 2026, I haven't been off the ship. I haven't touched land.
So this is all causing wear and tear, as you can imagine. I've spoken to several family members today of sailors aboard, and
Anyway, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all know how the war gonna end, man. It ain't gonna be with missiles and shit like that. They literally starving Americans. They are winning the middle battle. They got Americans wanting to kill themselves, bro. That's all right. We done lost. This is the first line. It's over. It's over. So on that note, man, thank each and every one of y'all. Happy Saturday. Enjoy y'all day. I love y'all. Be safe. God is the greatest, man. God is the greatest. And I'm glad all of our paths have aligned together. So until the next one, man, I enjoyed myself, bro. And more, you're real. I got you, nigga. Got you. So check it out. The USS Abraham Lincoln. They starving. They boat is full of doo-doo and feces because this shit ain't flushing. And as a result, the water is contaminated. The food is contaminated. So check that shit out, man. I love y'all. Remember, the war is going to continue to get worse, where the people that all the troops over there are going to have limited to no supplies. So watch it get worse, okay? I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.